regardless of what you think the Phillies team is, last night was awesome. What a win for the Phillies and John Kincade. Welcome back. It is football week, Johnny.
We are together again, and I remember what you all look like. It's good to see you this morning. Good to see you all.
It is great to see you.
And yesterday afternoon was amazing. On the screened-in porch, out back with the TV, listening to T-Mac and Ruben Amaro, having a Tangerine tonic.
Beautiful, man.
Little cookout yesterday.
Beautiful.
It was a beautiful afternoon and a really, really weird game.
Yeah, absolutely weird game. We will talk about it throughout the course of the show today. We'll talk about this Phillies team throughout the course of the show, but also
19 we start today.
Yes, 19, magic number. But we're not just talking Phillies today.
No, we are not, because it is football week. We made it.
It is welcome week in the NFL.
We made it.
2 weeks ago, you and I were at Temple Fest. It was welcome week for the Temple students. Today, it's welcome week for the NFL players. Rookies, second-year players, 10-year vets, old friends, new friends. The Philadelphia Eagles open up the season this Thursday, just 2 days from now, because yesterday was Labor Day Monday, damn it, so we got a shortened week. And, of course, it is the Micah Parsons-less Dallas Cowboys Thursday coming to Philadelphia.
Which is wild, and you guys, I'm sure. It happened after you left
I never had a chance to react.
It happened after you left.
I did my digital content for the station.
So Connor was, I did not. I was, did not.
Don't worry, I had it locked down. We were good.
Connor, you locked it on down. I said so there it was. It was.
Are the Cowboys better without Micah? We did the Skip Bayless show.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
That's always good, yes.
No, I mean, it was crazy news that drops, over the Labor Day holiday for us. We were both on vacation. And the line moves an entire point, just to let you guys all know, just to update you, at least on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. We all have our respective apps. Well, I mean, it was already 6.5. Now it's 7.5. So.
I'm still shocked by that.
What, you thought it'd be more?
Yes. Yeah. They were the worst. They were the second worst defense in the NFL last year. And they just lost their best defensive player. And it's opening game against the best team in football.
Sure.
That shocks me. That line is too low.
Really? What, do you think it would be like a 2 points?
I thought it would have moved.
I thought it to be a 2-point swing.
Yeah, I thought it would have moved.
Look, I mean, with all the questions on that defense, there's still questions on the Eagles defense as well.
And I'll lay it.
Hell yeah, man.
I'll lay it.
Opening week vibes with the banner being shown and Micah Parsons not being on the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be a great day on Thursday. We have a lot of stuff in store for you today. We have a lot of stuff in store for you tomorrow and Thursday. Obviously, the reaction day on Friday. This is going to be an insane week in the city of Philadelphia or for Philadelphia sports because, as we mentioned right off the jump, the Phillies are in Milwaukee for 3. Now, they have A, in Milwaukee. B, weird schedule breakdown. We talked about it like a week or two ago. They're off today. So they started the series yesterday. They're off today.
Because Milwaukee played too many games consecutively by the NFL Players Association rules.
Okay.
They asked to play on Labor Day because no Major League Baseball team should be off on 4th of July, Memorial Day, or Labor Day.
Completely agree with you.
So they asked and said, can we please play a game on Labor Day?
Yeah.
And they were like, well, it violates the Players Association rules of the amount of days, so they had to take today off. That's why they're off today.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. It's just weird in the middle of a series like this where now all of a sudden we're off today, but we're back at it tomorrow when the Phillies resume this series against the Brewers.
They could use a day off today, right?
I think everybody could use a day off.
I know I could use one after that.
I think there needs to be a mental reset for both teams. Phillies win last night 10-8 yesterday afternoon in Milwaukee. The Brewers were up 4-0 through 2. The Phillies tack on a run in the top of the 4th to make it 4-1, and then the Brewers say, yeah, sure. We're going to score a run and go up 4 once again. They're up 5-1. Then the Phillies put up 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, but then the bullpen's imploding. We have to go 9 innings, and the final score ends up being 10-8, Johnny.
It was.
Phillies win.
You know what, though? The thing is that gets you so ready for the excitement of fall.
Well, this could be two playoff teams facing each other.
Well, this could very well be. I mean, you're talking about, these are going to be 2 playoff teams.
Correct.
The Phillies' magic number is 19. They're going to the postseason. They're 6 up on the Mets, who, by the way, I read social media last week, and I'm embarrassed for a lot of our fan base.
Why?
Over the reaction to the Mets series, but we can get into that at a later time.
Oh, we will.
And but it's absolutely crazy to me. These two teams, it would be excruciating.
Oh my God, yeah.
Watching these two teams, because I love the way the Brewers play ball. And everybody who's been telling you all season long, oh, don't believe the Brewers. They're not. The team's not real. They're not real. They haven't looked at they haven't watched the Brewers. If someone's told you that, they have not watched.
I've watched the Brewers, and I'm telling you, I don't think they're real.
I agree. That's ridiculous.
I do watch the Brewers.
How do you
so know me? That I watch other baseball teams.
How do you watch that team and say they're not real?
I just don't think come playoff time they're going to have the chops for it, and that's why I made a bet already.
You did?
I'm going to wear the spinny cap if the Brewers make it to the NLCS and the Phillies don't make it, past the NLDS. Those were the terms.
I thought it was if the Brewers do not win a series.
No, it was NLCS.
NLCS?
Those were the final terms.
Oh, okay.
Brewers make it to the NLCS, and if the Phillies don't reach the NLCS, I have to wear
the spinny cap,
a rainbow spinny cap.
The rainbow one too.
I just don't buy them. But look, that was a fun.
But you buy
game.
But do you buy the Phillies? Can I just? I don't want to derail here. But do you buy the Phillies?
No.
Okay, so you don't buy the Phillies. You don't buy the. So who do you buy? That's the question.
The Dodgers and Padres, the two teams
you
that give
buy
me
the
most
Padres.
He's terrified of the Padres. We got to break you of that.
You buy the Padres and you don't. It makes no sense. It makes no sense that you're buying the Padres and you don't buy the Brewers.
It does when their bullpen is as good as that bullpen is.
Ooh.
Anyways, I don't want to put a damper on the day because that was a fun day yesterday. Phillies win 10-8.
Well, then don't do it.
I'm not trying to.
Well, then don't. That's good.
You're the one asking me if I buy into the Phillies. I'm telling you no, but I'm trying to have fun with yesterday's win.
Okay, good. Have fun with it.
Because I made a promise last week. So you were on vacation.
Okay, what promise did you make?
I promised that I would not just every single day say this is why they're not going to win.
I hope you're not going to do that.
No, I would. Yeah. I want to have fun. So a game like yesterday, I had fun.
Because people who pick the Mets to win the division might be a little damper. They can be damper Dannies. Whereas people who believed in the Phillies all along can tell you that the Phillies are fine. They are fine, and they're the second best team in the National League. And they have been for months.
What happened to you on vacation?
They've been.
Who are you talking? I don't know which one you're talking to.
No, Johnny.
No, I haven't changed.
I know you haven't.
I haven't changed on that. I've told you all along the Phillies are going to win this division. I had no blink about it. And by the way, I told you that the day I returned, the day I returned from vacation, the division race would be over. By the way, it's over.
Love that.
It's over. There's no concern about the Mets. It's over. It's football week.
Might be concerned in October.
No, wait a minute. You're right on that.
Yeah.
No, you're not incorrect on that one, but you're the division race is over.
Yeah, but it's the message we've had all along. It's not about the division anymore.
I have a message later on in the show for all the negative Nancys. The downer Dannies.
Oh, you didn't live it.
I'll give it to you though.
See,
I did live it. I lived it.
No, you hid at the beach.
No, I lived it, and believe me, everybody at Icona was all living it too. Oh, and you know what I lived it with? I lived it with Met fans.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Because the only people who had kids off were the North Jersey Mets and Giants and Yankee fans, and they were obnoxious. Oh, my God.
I bet they were. And they had every right to be obnoxious when they swept the Phillies. But
no, they don't. They're 6 games out.
I digress. Fun win yesterday. Bryce Harper, 2 for 5. Brandon Marsh
is the story.
Had the big hit yesterday, 4 for 5. And look, this is why we keep on saying just make an outfield of Marsh and Bader and Castellanos.
Marsh, Bader.
What?
Maybe not Castellanos.
You said Castellanos.
I'm still putting Castellanos over Max Kepler. I am.
Dude, Kepler, if you go since July 1st, Kepler's had more big hits than Castellanos.
I don't want to have this rotating outfield. I don't. Unless they.
But why do you want to go to the guy who hasn't earned it?
Fine, then they tell you that it's a Kepler-Castellanos platoon. The other two guys need to play.
Okay.
I'm tired of Bader being in the lineup one day, out the next day.
Bader, Marsh.
And Marsh has proven himself at this point.
Here's the Sharpie, folks. There's the Sharpie. I'm handing it to Andrew. And Rob, this isn't hard.
No.
Stop being the middle school teacher who doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Kepler, You can don't worry about him. Castellanos, don't worry about him. Marsh, put him in. And Bader.
Marsh and Bader, just done. Over.
Done.
All right, so we're going to have a fun day balancing both the Phillies win over the Brewers and this series ahead, and, of course, football, which returns on Thursday. Woo! The Eagles hosting the Dallas Cowboys without Micah Parsons after he was traded to the Packers. The line moved a point. Eagles 7.5-point favorites going into this game. We're going to have a lot of fun with it all week long. Coming up next, so John Kincade has a message for what he is calling the doom and gloom crowd. Do I fall into that club is a question. Why you should feel better about the Phillies next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The summer's here, and you know what that means.
Fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
.14 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. So the Phillies win Game 1 of their series against the Brewers in Milwaukee. off today. They resume the series tomorrow. And then, of course, Thursday is Game 3 of the series and Game 1 of the Eagles' 2025 NFL season. How about the entire season in the NFL? Because the Eagles open up the season after winning Super Bowl 59. And they do it against Dallas Cowboys, who will be without Micah Parsons after they traded him to the Green Bay Packers. Look, hell of a haul, 2 first-round picks. But still, it's Micah Parsons, their best player defensively, and arguably the top 5 defensive player in the NFL, and he's just not there anymore. And it goes back to something we talked about a couple of weeks ago, John. I was hoping that we wouldn't see Micah Parsons week 1.
Yeah, I'm thrilled that he's not there.
Yeah, and that makes week 1 easier.
Here's one thing, though, and I saw some of social media's reaction to it last week, though I really was hoping he'd get shipped to the AFC.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there.
Because I'd much rather have Micah Parsons on the Dallas Cowboys than Micah Parsons on the Green Bay Packers. The Eagles' job to get back to a Super Bowl got tougher.
Yep, absolutely.
Because of this move.
Absolutely.
Because Parsons on the Packers makes the Packers a lot more dangerous, and I already thought the Packers were dangerous.
Sure.
There's been a lot of debate about that. I think the Packers are a dangerous club, and now they added Parsons, even though he's having his epidurals.
Yes.
Which I didn't know he was pregnant. It's going to be a problem.
I wonder if that's a new it's just public information. Like Matt Stafford was getting epidurals.
Yeah, but he's really got back issues.
Right.
I mean, he's got. I got to tell you this: that kind of money for a guy who needs epidurals to play.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
It's a major risk.
I wouldn't spend it.
It's a major risk, but we know that when he's good, he's good.
Oh no! When he's good, he's good. He just hasn't been good against the Eagles.
All right. So, what's the message for the doom and gloom Phillies crowd that you have for people?
Look, I understand the Mets fatigue. I totally get it. I understand those of you who are upset, and it's probably because you have friends who are Met fans and they bother you, and you hate to see the Met fans when they come down and go to Citizens Bank Park and bother you. And I know that last fall sucked, and the Mets kicked the Phillies' backsides, and so there's a lot of fatigue there, and you're 2-7 against the Mets this year. So I totally get it with the fan base being upset about the Mets. Last week's reaction to the Mets series was embarrassing by a large portion of the fan base. It was embarrassing. Look, if you're going to overreact to what happened in the Mets series, and you're going to underreact to everything else, then you're telling me you are just going to be prisoners of the moment. The overreaction in the Mets series is ridiculous. It's like, this is what the Phillies are going to be in October. This is what they are. I know who they are. You're a fool. Because what I'm going to tell you is that you're not paying attention. Because here's who the Phillies potentially could have to navigate in October. The Phillies could have to navigate the Dodgers, who as of now, they lead the season series against 2-1. The Phillies could have to navigate the Cubs, who they won the season series against 4-2. The Phillies could have to play the Padres, who they were 3-3 against, did not win, did not lose, won the series here, lost the series there 2-1. Obviously, I told you they're 2-7 against the Mets, pending next week's series. They won the series against the Tigers, best team in the American League, 2-1. They won the series against the Blue Jays, 3-0. Won the series against the Mariners, 3-0. Won the series against the Yankees, 2-1. Won the series against the Red Sox, 2-1. Lost to the Astros, 0-3. So in other words, against potential playoff opponents that are already decided, we already know how the season series goes, the Phillies are guaranteed that 8 out of the 10 of those, they were the better team. But because the Mets series and the Mets have been so good against the Phillies, season's over. They suck. Write them off. It is mind-numbingly dumb to me. And by the way, if you think what happens in the regular season matters and that's the only determinant of what's going to happen in the postseason, again, you are not a student of baseball history, and you have not even paid attention to recent Phillies history.
Aren't you,
where that hasn't been.
It doesn't matter until it matters, guy?
Yeah, but it doesn't. Because right there, what matters is they're telling you against good teams, the Phillies are really good. Against good teams, this Phillies team is really good. The teams who are going to be playing in October, I just gave it to you. 8 out of the 10 of them, The Phillies are the better team and have proven it in the season.
But there's also been much more information since then. Like, Zach Wheeler's not on the team.
I understand that Zach Wheeler's not on the team, but it doesn't mean
that's a major loss.
Sure, it is, and those teams too change too.
Absolutely.
Those teams change too. But what's happened is since Zach Wheeler has not been on the team, have the Phillies fallen flat?
I don't feel comfortable with Aaron Nola.
Whoa! That's not what I asked you. I agree with you. Do I feel better about the Phillies without Zach Wheeler? No. Have the Phillies fallen flat?
No, they've been winning games.
No, they haven't.
Except against the Mets.
Have the Phillies played better? Have the Phillies played better than the Dodgers and the Padres and those teams since Wheeler went out?
I don't have the exact record since then, but maybe.
Well, that's all I'm saying to you is the reaction to the Mets series was embarrassing.
No, I don't think it was embarrassing at all, man.
By the way,
I really don't.
Yeah, well, the 6-game lead this morning says completely differently.
Yeah.
It's complete. You have, of the teams who are going to October, the Phillies have proven to you that they are better than almost all of them when they have played. And yes, the Wheeler loss, it sucks.
I hope you keep this energy throughout the rest of September and into October, Johnny.
I will. Now, do I worry about a Mets matchup? Hell yeah. I do.
Well, then there you go.
I know. No. Do I worry about that matchup? It's a bad matchup for them.
It is. Could happen.
But do I write it off? And do it mean it's a loss? No. It's ridiculous. A ridiculous thing.
All right.
It's silly.
Man, you got refreshed and
oh my gosh, like that. No, I didn't. No. My opinion on that didn't change while I was away.
You had a lot of sex on vacation. All right, coming up next, as we balance a push for Red October while beginning the road to the repeat, because we got that on Thursday.
Yes.
What do we expect from this Eagles defense early on? Should we listen to the truth teller that is Vic Fangio? He says something was overblown last year. Hear that next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A wild win in Milwaukee. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies had an incredible comeback win yesterday in Milwaukee to lead off their series with the Brewers. Phil's trailed 4-0 and 5-1 at points in the game, but came back to win 10-8 in what was an instant regular season classic. Brandon Marsh was 4 for 5. Harrison Bader 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs, all of those coming in big spots. And Bader talked after the game about the mentality he tries to keep day in and day out.
So I think the energy aspect is really important, and just bring it every day regardless of where you're at, because stuff's going to get hairy down the line. So just being really good at training yourself to be high energy and high support for your teammates every single day, I think, is a good practice.
Well, stuff got hairy yesterday, but the Phils fought through it, and yesterday's win was their 80th of the season. They now have rebuilt a 6-game lead in the National League East. Phils are off today. They'll play the Brewers again tomorrow night, one of those weird mid-series off days. We're 2 days away from the start of the NFL season. It's Eagles-Cowboys Thursday at 8:20, and we're still keeping an eye on the Eagles injury report to see if guys like Landon Dickerson and Drew Makuba will be ready to go for Week 1, so we'll keep you updated on that. We'll talk to Amy Fadul for the entire 7 o'clock hour. Jeff McClain joins us at 8:25. Mark Schlereth at 9:10. This update is brought to you by the Electrical Workers Local 269 and the Electrical Training Alliance, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 269 NECA, and the Electrical Training Alliance can offer a career with no college debt. To learn more, go to IBEW269.com. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
Previously on Unfiltered.
When you talk about defending your
fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Is outside just gets me even more juiced up for Thursday night. Like,
Gosh, it is nice.
It's ridiculous. Like there needs to be a chill in the air for football season. Connor's shaking his head out there.
Disagree.
No,
it's fantastic.
For football to feel like real football, I need there to be a chill in the air, and we are getting that right now.
I don't want it to be
continue on Thursday.
Right. I don't want it to be like the last time they dropped a banner when it was freaking like 92 degrees on the night. It was sticky as hell. We had lightning delays because of the terrible storms that blew through. Everybody had to run to the concourse to get out of the lightning thing. None of that crap.
Yeah. No.
Nice weather.
By the way,
this is beautiful.
You're still getting 80 degrees at kickoff.
This is fantastic.
I need 90.
No, it's fantastic.
I need 100.
This is great.
Now remember, we don't need any excuses. None of the lazy excuses like it's too hot that we had last year in Tampa.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we better not get that in Tampa when we go.
We'll find out, man. We'll get the weather report in a couple of weeks.
Well, we better get that by 24 days, by the way, to get on that big.
Damn right.
Big
Can't wait,
bird.
man. All right, so Phillies win yesterday, Game 1 against the Brewers. We will be balancing that throughout the course of the show today. Obviously, Eagles kick off the entire NFL season with the Cowboys this Thursday night, so we have a lot of Eagles content for you as well. Busy show today. Amy Fadul, you've heard Connor mention it in his updates. Amy's going to be joining us for the entire 7 o'clock hour today. Normally on Tuesdays, she's in for the entire 9 o'clock hour scheduling stuff. She has to come in a couple hours earlier. So the entire 7 o'clock hour with Amy
she
today.
Got school and stuff?
Probably. Tuesdays with Jeff
Seriously?
McClain continues at 8:25 today. And we have Mark Schlereth, your buddy Stink. He's going to be joining us coming up at 9:10 today to get a national perspective on not only the Eagles, but the entire NFL. There's just going to be a lot to get into this week, and we are so freaking fired up for it. So over the weekend, Vic Fangio, they didn't have Labor Day weekend. They kept on working. The players did.
Well, when they play Saturday, when they play Thursday.
Right, they got to get the practice in.
Got to get it in.
Stuff. But Vic Fangio spoke to the media, and there was a clip that I heard that I found pretty interesting. And I know that he's a truth teller. We love Vic and his honest answers in press conferences. There's no sugarcoating it. If a guy stinks, he stinks. If a guy's good, he's good. If a guy he expects to play at some point will play, he'll say it like he did with Jacorian Bennett earlier over the weekend. But I found this question pretty interesting. You and I have been discussing the patience factor when it comes to this Eagles team. Having very little patience with the Eagles offense because they have 10 of 11 starters returning. The one guy that isn't is Tyler Steen, but he's been on the team for a couple of years now. He's been in Stoutland U. He also played last year when there were times that Mekhi Becton was banged up. So even though the Patullo factor is real, they have all the talent in the world. Whereas the defense lost a lot of key players. Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, even depth guys like Oren Burks, Isaiah Rodgers, Darius Slay not there as a starting corner. There's a lot of questions with the defense. Here was Vic Fangio talking about something we point out a lot from last season, the difference from the first 4 weeks and then the rest of the season.
I think that's overplayed a little bit, what happened those first 4 weeks. But, no, I think we're ready to go because we still have a lot of guys that were here last year and guys that we expect to be improved from last year.
So I'm trying to figure out what he means by it was overplayed, like the fact that week 5, the bye happens and he has a brand new defense when Cooper DeJean goes out there, or was he trying to tell people, hey, it wasn't as bad as you think it was? Regardless of what he's trying to say, I wish I could sit down with Vic Fangio and say, hey, Vic, I love your stubbornness. I love how you're just quick to the punch. I'm fine with being patient with the defense early on again.
I'm patient with the defense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not with the offense. Patient with the defense, but I don't think he's being true there. Really? I mean, nothing was overblown about last year.
No, the first 4 weeks
was terrible.
Were pretty bad defensively.
It was terrible. That Tampa game last year was as bad as I've seen an Eagles team play under Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
That was a terrible, because it almost seemed like a rollover effort.
I also have given the excuse to the defense. Remember, they were on the field 4 times in the first quarter because the offense was going 3 and out.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
Remember, no AJ,
no
Lane.
AJ, no Lane,
yeah.
no Devontae, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, they were missing a lot of key players.
It was bad.
That game.
It was a bad
The defense was gassed by the end of the first
quarter.
quarter.
Remember, it was hot. We were told how hot it was.
Yep.
So there was a lot of that, but I think that maybe, he's looking at it a little bit. Look, it was a disaster. It was a disaster, and his own players had to go in, the offense players had to go in and just say, look, this season's going off the rails. We need to save it, and this is how we're going to save it. And they saved it, and everything turned out beautifully. So I think that we need to remember that let's not sugarcoat things. Things were bad. And, look, I trust Vic. He's got time. The only thing is this first month, now the Dallas game, it's a challenge. It's a big challenge.
Absolutely.
Offensively, they're a big challenge, but I would consider that the Eagles' offense has a little easier job on Thursday, which maybe makes it a little bit of an easier night.
Right, but when it comes to the defense, look, you have a challenge the first 4 weeks.
Big challenge.
The first 4 weeks you have challenges.
Every game.
You have Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. You have Patrick Mahomes in week 2. We have the Rams with Matthew Stafford if the back is all right, with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. You have week 4 Tampa. We know what Tampa has been able to do against the Eagles, but we know
looking good.
Overall, Tampa's offense is tremendous. So I have a question for the audience at 610-632-0975 that I want us to discuss. It's not necessarily the patience conversation. Are you more patient with the defense? Or are you more patient with the offense? My question is just straight up, are you willing to be patient with the defense? Because that is the biggest concern for everybody, right? Like,
it better be.
I don't know how cornerback 2 is going to look. I don't know how Sidney Brown's going to look once real game action is happening. I have been kind of constant and consistent with the concerns that I have at edge rusher because I don't know if I'm ready to just say, hey, Jalix, go for it. You're going to play 60% of the snaps and get after the quarterback. Like, I'm not there yet because we haven't really watched them play. They didn't play in the preseason games, a lot of those guys. But I'm still willing to be patient despite my concerns. Like, even if the defense looks bad on Thursday, but the Eagles pull out a win because the offense looks great, I'm willing to say, all right, I expect this defense to get better. I think the defense, it's like the old flower analogy from Nick Sirianni. I think the defense is fertilizing, right? And hopefully they bloom at some point like we saw last year. I'm not asking them to be the number 1 or number 2 ranked defense, depending on what metric you look at. But I'm just asking them to be back in that top 10, and I'm willing to be patient. I don't know if Eagles fans are, and I wonder where you guys are on that.
When we look at, if you just look at the second month, when you get Broncos at home, Giants twice, and at the Vikings, I would think that in October we're saying, man, this defense looks so much better. Yeah, the competition will be less.
Yeah.
Plus, they will have a month under their belts. This will be a battle-tested defense going into October. Then after the bye and you head into November, when you've got Bears and Packers and Lions, then you're ready for the real challenge.
Right.
That's going to come across. I agree with you, though. I mean, like the first month, I'm not putting style points on anything with the defense, especially after what we saw last year.
I think that's the biggest key.
Just give me wins. Give me wins. Put wins on the board.
We just saw it last year.
Exactly.
So for the
wins on the
entire
board.
summer that we just went through of worrying about the defense, and look, there are things that I'm looking at. I'm going, all right, let's see how this plays out. But I'm willing to let it play out. There's going to be a lot of people that might panic early on because of this defense, because that's been the biggest talking point this entire summer. I'm just trying to tell people I think we should be patient with them.
That's true.
So I want people to chime in on that. And Connor, I want your answer on it next, because you were less patient with the defense, more patient with the offense, which I find crazy. But we'll get your answer on that coming up next. And I want to hear from you at 610-632-0975. The biggest concern for the Eagles, concerns are obviously on the defensive side of the ball. But are you willing to be patient and see how it plays out and see how they grow over the first month of the season? Because I am. Evil Media. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Do you feel unfulfilled?
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
7:00 hour today. Had to move some things around, as you mentioned, the school schedule. So welcome back to school for a lot of the kiddos out there.
Hey, kiddos.
Hey, kiddos. Enjoy the new school season.
Yes, get off to a good school year.
Yeah. Don't do what I've done in the past.
I liked the getting back. I loved going back to school.
Yeah, the first day was always fun. Then I hated week 2.
Then it was like week 2. I was like, okay,
I'm done.
I'm done with this. But I like the new notebooks and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was fun.
Now, Jamal Hutchinson checks in our YouTube chat. Shout out YouTube. Welcome back.
What's up? Good morning.
I guess welcome me back because you guys are always around. We appreciate you. Jamal's wondering where I got my shirt today that I'm wearing. The beauty of YouTube is you can see what we're wearing and how we're acting. And when John and I are ready to throw hands at each other, that's a joke that's never happened. The Philly Goat Company, which is...
They're good.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they're good.
I was watching the Phillies game a few weeks ago, and NBC Sports Philadelphia highlighted the shirt that somebody was wearing. It says Go Phils on it, but it's a bunch of different Phils.
It's Uncle Phil. It's Phil Dunphy.
Phil Jackson.
Phil Mickelson. Dr. Phil.
Phil the Groundhog. There's
Phil Punxsutawney Phil.
A bunch of Phil. And there's Phils on the back, too.
It's great. Phil, do you even know
Phil Mickelson.
Do you even know the bottom corner there?
Oh, this guy?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Phil Donahue.
Phil Donahue.
See, that's too old for you.
So there's a lot of Phils. And so I wanted to wear it last week, but I couldn't after losses to the Mets on 3 consecutive days.
No, you could have. You could have kept the faith.
Well, I'm keeping the faith today, Johnny. So I'm wearing it today. Shout out Philly Goat Company. They're
How bad did it get, Connor?
Really cool.
Oh, it was real bad. I was as bad as Andrew.
He was as bad as me. Golden Retriever.
Really?
Dude, he was as bad as me.
They got their teeth kicked in 3 games against the Mets. It was awful.
They did. It sucked. Oh, it did. It sucked.
Yeah, and you were on the beach.
No, I was dealing with Met fans
having drinks
everywhere.
Having drinks and hanging out with your wife. I had to hang out with Connor for 3 straight days after those losses.
Could you imagine that? That was terrible.
Okay, that
for
is
him.
superior. That is superior. My situation was superior.
And you know how much I hate the Mets. I hate them more than the Cowboys.
But with the Philly schools back in, I was surrounded by North Jersey Met Yankee fans, and it was like the Met fans feeling themselves. I'm like, I said, are you people like actually thinking you're going to win this division?
Yeah, but it wasn't about the division.
Okay, you lost regular season games, for God's sakes.
Doesn't matter till it matters, John.
You're up by 6 again.
I'm going to throw that right back in your face.
Okay, so did it matter against the Dodgers? Cubs?
We'll see.
Padres?
Hopefully they play those teams and not the Mets, John.
Okay, well, no. If you're worried about the Mets, I would worry about them too. They are a pain in the backside.
Yeah!
It's a bad matchup.
We're talking about World Series.
What happens in the regular season? Again, we're going to do this. Has the Phillies' regular season performance mattered when they play teams in the playoffs, whether they win or lose in the playoffs?
No.
I'm going to point to you and say, I can show you over and over again where it doesn't matter one bit.
Well, then hold on a second.
Like when they
why
play
did you do the whole exercise of look at the teams that they've beaten so far this year?
Because what I'm saying to you is
backwards.
What I'm saying to you is the logic is, well, you played the Mets. Oh my gosh, look, the season's over. Well, why don't people have the same energy when they've done? It's over multitude that the best teams in baseball they played very well against.
Oh, and I've celebrated those,
but not with the same energy. Not with the same energy that the best teams.
You're celebrating today the Brewers, the win against the Brewers, but you kept on attacking me about the Mets thing in the first segment.
It's because the Mets. You picked the Mets to win the division, which really bummed me out.
Okay.
Which really bummed me.
And you know what? Hopefully I'm wrong.
No, wait a minute.
I am wrong.
Wait a minute. Whoa. You're not off that yet?
I mean, look, I'm sure I'm off it.
Okay, the Phillies
game lead.
Okay, Phillies are going to win the division, right?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are off that.
Okay, yes.
Okay. That was a momentary little blip.
Me picking the Mets to win the division has nothing to do with the conversation.
No, but it does though. Because you're scared of the Mets. That's why you picked them to win the division.
Yes, because I thought they did better at the trade deadline.
And you
do we have to revisit this over and over over again?
So there's the thing is it's this season and you know who this team is and they're going to aggravate the hell out of you.
Yes, they will.
And we know they are.
Yes, they will.
So that's the way it goes.
All right, Connor, are you willing to be patient with the defense?
Yeah,
when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. How much so? Because I saw during our commercial break one of our YouTube commenters saying that they're willing to go Sixers. So, man.
What? That's really patient.
Talking about being patient.
You're talking about being patient.
They're willing to wait until the bye week for the Eagles to come to their determination.
8
now,
weeks?
Look, last year, you want to say, I'll wait till the bye week. That's fine. The bye week was in week 5. Week 8 this year.
8 weeks is too late.
If the defense looks like crap for 7 weeks, I think we'll be sounding alarms before
that's
the
8
week
games.
8.
There's
the
8
week
games.
8 bye.
No, that's too late.
Yeah, I'm giving them the same thing I gave them last year. It wasn't just because of the bye, but the bye helped. I'm giving them a month, both sides of the football. Like if Denver comes in here in week 5 and Bo Nix in his sophomore season with few weapons makes his defense look pedestrian, we got a problem. But through the first 4 weeks, we're looking at result. We're not looking at style points.
Why, again, and just get to this, is that, so defense, we're all on the same page then.
Yes.
Style points, we are all agreeing we're making the pact. Blood brothers,
yeah.
Making the pact.
I don't expect much style points to begin with the teams you're playing.
I am telling you this. We get on that plane after our Monday show in Tampa with Philly Sports Trips. We get on that plane. The Eagles are 3-1. I'm whistling zippity.
Oh my God.
I am whistling zippity doodah and loving life because I know this team is going to cruise to one of the top seeds in the NFC.
And you know what? I'll even do you one better. I hope the 3-1s against the Cowboys, Rams, and Bucks. I don't care if they lose to the Chiefs. NFC wins.
Oh no, they'd be great.
If you're 3-0 in the NFC through 4 weeks,
that'd be fantastic.
I know everyone's going to say, "Oh, the Chiefs rematch this." No, I don't care. Give me 3. This year's this year, as Nick Sirianni would tell you.
And so, where the Blood Brothers part is on the offense, is the patience of the offense. Connor's going to be patient on the offense. I have no idea why, but that's going to be okay.
I need to see that team ready to win. And look, that 3-1 start, it's going to have to be because of the offense. Because I'm not expecting the defense to go out there and hold teams to 10 to 17 points when they're playing the Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, and Bucks. I'm just not. But I'm okay with it. Like, I'm okay with the defense having growing pains early on, considering the amount of turnover. But it's not turnover from, a Pro Bowler to another Pro Bowler. It's turnover to young guys. It's Jalix Hunt in year 2. It's Nolan Smith, who really didn't come to the scene until the second half of last year, if not later last year.
Well,
it's going from Darius Slay to a vet in Adoree Jackson, but not somebody that you feel totally comfortable with. And then it's C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who the impact that he made with this team, to Sidney Brown, who I have a lot of concerns with, which then goes to the concerns with Reed Blankenship, right? Like, there are areas of concern or question, maybe I should say, when it comes to this Eagles defense. But I think it would be best for everybody to just sit back and go, all right, let's see them grow a little bit over the first 4 weeks of this year.
I don't think concern is a bad word. I think there's every reason for concern. When the Eagles can't give you an answer to basic questions in press conferences,
but Vic helps, man.
Oh, no, it does.
Vic goes from concerns to questions for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Nah. Talent gets you to...
But you know what? Vic Fangio could go, all right, so Adoree Jackson isn't the guy. I'm not afraid. This isn't a Phillies, let's keep on playing certain guys.
I got you.
This is, all right, Adoree Jackson's not cutting it out, and Keely Ringo, the guy that everyone thought was going to become this next big cornerback, isn't ready. Hey, Jacorian Bennett, we trade you for a reason.
There's a reason, guy. You got to step up.
And so, Vic Fangio makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. So when I hear Vic Fangio talk about the first 4 weeks being overblown, no, they weren't overblown because it was a totally different team post-bye week, totally different team offensively, totally different team defensively.
Plus, it was Cooper ascending out of injury.
Right, exactly. Which could be the same thing with Drew McCuba. We might see the exact same thing play out this year. I don't know. Or Sidney Brown's great. I don't know. By all reports, he's had a good training camp. So we'll find out.
We'll find out in the Notebook Thursday morning with Andrew Tcheco.
So you can text in at 610-632-0975. Reacting to the Phillies win yesterday, having fun with that game yesterday, and the big series still ahead because they're off today. 2 more games with the Brewers on Wednesday and Thursday. And when it comes to the Eagles defense, we are all on the same page that is the biggest concern or question, depending on the phrase you want to use. When it comes to the Eagles, it's the defense. But are you willing to be patient early on? Chime in at 610-632-0975. Amy Fadul joins us next segment for the entire 7 o'clock hour. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils find an awesome win in Milwaukee. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies had an incredible comeback win yesterday against the Brewers to lead off that series up in Milwaukee. They trailed 4-0 and 5-1 in the early going, but came back to win 10-8. Brandon Marsh 4 for 5 in the game, some big hits out of him. Harrison Bader 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs, all in big spots. And Bader's been looking great lately. He talked after the game about the mentality he tries to keep.
So I think the energy aspect is really important to just bring it every day regardless of where you're at because, stuff's going to get hairy down the line. So just being really good at training yourself to be high energy and high support for your teammates every single day, I think is a good practice.
Yesterday's win was the Phillies' 80th of the season. They now have rebuilt a 6-game lead in the National League East. They're off today. They'll play the Brewers again tomorrow night. We're 2 days away from the start of the NFL season. Eagles-Cowboys Thursday. And we're still keeping an eye on the Eagles injury report to see if guys like Landon Dickerson and Drew McCuba will be ready to go for Week 1. We'll keep you updated on that. Busy day today. Amy Fadul joins us for the entire 7 o'clock hour. Jeff McClain of the Inquirer joins us at 8:25. Mark Schlereth joins us at 9:10. This update's brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bowe, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
6:55 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll be joined momentarily by our good friend Amy Fadul, who will be with us for the entire 7 o'clock hour on this Tuesday morning. Johnny, welcome week to the 2025 season in the NFL. Eagles, Cowboys kick things off Thursday night. Can't wait for it. It's going to be an absolute blast. It's going to be a crazy scene down at Lincoln Financial Field. How many people? Now, this is an interesting... We're going to have to find out more on Thursday, but just an estimate. You just had Labor Day Monday off. Everybody's expected to kind of be back at work this week. Kids are back at school. How many people take off Thursday?
It's Friday. People will take off Friday.
Ah, okay, for the day after.
People will take off Friday. That would be my guess.
Okay.
Is that people
But I'm thinking about the all-day tailgaters.
Nah,
remember, we had Greenbeard last year calling in at 6:30 in the morning for an 8 o'clock game.
Now, there's going to be some of those that are the tailgate fanatics that will be there and will do that. But I would believe that if people are taking off of work, they're taking off of work Friday. And they're getting out. They're going to somehow slip out of work like 2 o'clock on Thursday.
Okay.
And then Friday will be the day off.
I just wonder, how does a boss... Now, look, good bosses...
Good bosses will get you out on Thursday.
You're a Philadelphia fan. You're Go Birds. Right?
I'd say offices close. I would think most offices in Philly are closing like 3 o'clock on Thursday.
I hope so.
I
just worry because they had Monday off. Is there a boss out there? There has to be at least one a-hole boss that's like, no,
one?
There's
plenty.
You just had Friday off. You're not going to, or Monday off, you're not taking off Friday, and you're not going to half day Thursday.
What kind of productivity do you think's going on Thursday afternoon before the Birds open? Now, Friday, people go back to work, but I think a lot of people will take vacation on Friday.
Yeah,
or there's going to be a lot of sick days.
I'm sure
People will start
my tummy hurts.
Exactly.
My tummy hurts. All right, so Connor, I'm curious, what are the people saying on the text line? You can text the show at 610-632-0975. When it comes to the Phillies and their great 10-8 win yesterday against the Milwaukee Brewers, where I want to give them credit for something that they didn't have against the Mets. Again, you were out the week of reaction to the Mets series. Anytime the Mets came back, the Phillies' tail went between their legs. Anytime the Mets made it a ball game or took the lead, it was done. Whereas this game yesterday, Brewers were up big, Phillies fought back, Brewers tied it, Phillies fought back, Brewers tied it again, Phillies fought back. And that was something that I want to give them a lot of credit for, that it didn't look like they were ever down on themselves when the Brewers kept on fighting back yesterday. And I want to give them credit for that because that was something I didn't see last week.
So Joe the Cynic leads us off, and he says, love Johnny's optimism about the division being locked. So being a cynic, I looked up the Mets' schedule. Definitely have a tougher road than the Phils. I'm on board. Now the playoffs are a different story.
Yeah, the playoffs are, look, we'll investigate anything with the playoffs when it comes. The Mets have 2 with the Tigers, then they come here for the 4. They've got 3 with the Padres. They got to go play 3 at the Cubs. This division is over.
Sure.
And look, I started counting the magic number at 50 for a reason. I don't believe in the Mets, and the division's over. Can they beat the Phillies in a 3-game series? Sure. Could they beat them in a 5-game series? Sure, they can. Absolutely. Can the Phillies beat them? Absolutely, they can. Without question, they can.
And I'm going to be sitting home my whoopee the entire time.
Oh, no question you will be.
During that series,
no question you will be.
If it happens. Also, our Eagles topic today, the Eagles defense, by far, everyone is in agreement, I would think. The Eagles' defense is the biggest question mark, bigger concern when it comes to one side of the ball. Now, if we were to unpack it even more, we've done this topic throughout the summer a couple of times. If we broke down individual questions and concerns, there's still more on the defense, right?
There absolutely
individually, there's more on the defense. So if you just want to do the blanket statement, which side of the ball are you more concerned about? I imagine everybody's saying defense. But if you wanted to break it down into 5 or to 10 things you're concerned about, majority will still be on the defense. My question is, are you willing to be patient about it, especially to John's point, and I was on the same boat with you, considering what we saw last year, Vic Fangio was able to find out who the best players should be, the players that should be on the field. You mentioned Cooper DeJean. Not only Cooper DeJean, who went off the field? Bryce Huff, a guy that was unplayable And Vic Fangio, I know he ended up getting hurt, but Vic Fangio was not afraid to say, this guy is not playing well enough. I don't care that Howie gave him $50 million.
I'm going
to limit his snaps.
I'm not playing him.
Brandon Graham is here for a swan song season. No, you're not in some retirement program. You're going to play 50% of the snaps because you're one of our better options. That's where I am willing to be patient because Vic Fangio has shown that before. So what do we got in the text line as you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. What are the people saying when it comes to that question, Connor?
So we have a check-in from a lifelong Falcons fan here who says, admittedly, I can't stand the Eagles. However, you guys are loaded. I'll be surprised if you lose a single game this year, and it pains me to say that. Best of luck this season, and everyone needs to relax and trust in that team. They're good.
Wow.
They'll lose a game this year.
They're going to lose.
Well, yeah, I don't think
I'm probably thinking they're losing by 5.
Sure.
But they're losing, but they're not going to lose a lot.
No.
This team's not losing a lot.
And I'll say it again in case that Falcons fan, and no, that was not John Kincade.
I appreciate that.
Because I know YouTube's probably going to be like, what, was John texting the show?
Yeah.
Every concern.
And no Falcon fan wants me, believe me.
Exactly.
They had me for too long.
Every concern or question that we have with this Eagles team, we have said the same thing over and over and over again. Every question or concern that we have is not enough to say we don't have high expectations with this team. I think the biggest one is who is Kevin Patullo, right? We've all talked about that over and over again. Who is Kevin Patullo? You can't base much off of preseason games, but I like how it just looked clean, right? Like, I didn't see a lot of delay game penalties. I didn't see a lot of issues, miscommunication.
But I didn't see it doesn't. They see to me it doesn't mean anything because I didn't see the starters.
Right.
And I saw them going up against vanilla defense.
If anything, no, but I'm talking about.
So it doesn't mean like
I'm talking about getting in the line of scrimmage. Like
I get you.
His ability to call a play. Remember, we've been concerned about. All right, you can be a genius offensively, but when it comes to calling plays when the clock is ticking, that's when you start wondering, does this guy have it? And through the 3 games of the preseason, albeit preseason, right? I totally get it. Vanilla defenses, and you're not really coming up with incredible offensive game plans. He looked like he was able to handle himself on the sideline.
He did.
We'll find out if he is actually this offensive mastermind that Nick Sirianni and a lot of people make him out to be.
Absolutely.
Starting Thursday night when they take on the Cowboys. What else we got on the text line?
All right, we also have a check-in here on because you guys are asking about what the schedule is going to be for the working folks out there. Eric from Virginia says half-day Thursday, full day off Friday is the way to do it.
So that's the way he did it.
I mean, that is the way to do it. I'm just trying to figure out if there are going to be businesses or offices that say, no, you can't do that.
Well, then quit your job.
Yeah, for the Birds,
find another one next week. It's fine. Birds come first.
Amazing. You can keep texting in at 610-632-0975. It is truly amazing how comfortable I am with Vic Fangio. It's amazing.
Well, if anyone has ever earned it,
right,
it's him. To go from the 30th defense to the first or the second, depending on which metrics you use. I don't believe we've ever seen anything like it. Not in Philadelphia sports. That is the greatest.
I don't know how often it happens in sports.
I think it's the greatest turnaround ever.
It was unbelievable. And if you look around the NFL, right, we're looking at the Detroit Lions as a team that you go, look, supremely talented, lots of talent. But how are they going to handle losing both coordinators? Much like we just went through 2 years ago when Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon both parted for head coaching jobs, and we saw the Sean Desai fiasco play out, and it obviously didn't work with Brian Johnson as the offensive coordinator. You lost your OC after winning the Super Bowl in Kellen Moore. But because Vic is still here, could you imagine if he left?
No, that would have been bad.
Then we would be having absolute nightmares because of what we just went through a couple of years ago. Vic Fangio staying here, with the new look defense, but that offense remaining the same pretty much, 10 of 11 starters, is part of the reason why if you don't have confidence going into the season, I question your beliefs with this team.
I think it's fair. I think your assessment with Vic is the confidence level that he's engendered with all of us is fantastic. I mean, if you're questioning, like there's no reason to question him. The talent level, though, I think we've seen there's reasons to question.
Well, yeah, our man, the Bull RJ on YouTube says, I got a problem with missing too many secondary players. Not a problem with Vic, but a problem with missing secondary players. And look, we have talked about it since May, right? When they didn't bring back Darius Slay, when they didn't bring back Isaiah Rodgers, when they traded away Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, when we all were on the same page with not paying Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, you're going, all right, so it might not be the same fierce pass rush that you saw the second half of the season, where they at least gave quarterbacks fits. So that means the cornerbacks and safeties will have to play a little bit better this year, and you question just how talented they are. So, RJ, I'm with you, man. I'm just willing to let it play out. Like, I'm not going to go in week one if Dak Prescott throws for 300 yards and CeeDee Lamb has 150 and George Pickens has 90 and Jake Ferguson has a bunch of yards. But if the Eagles win because the offense was able to outplay the Cowboys offense, I'm celebrating 1-0.
And that's all I'm going to care about. Is I make the Blood Brothers swear that style points will not be a discussion point with me through the first month.
I think the only
I want 3-1, and that's all I'm asking for.
I think the only thing is, like, if Sidney Brown looks like he can't be a starter, and if Adoree Jackson is like getting cooked constantly, but then I'll just say, good thing they have other guys ready to go. There's a reason why they traded for Ja'Cory Bennett. There's a reason why they drafted Drew Makuba in the second round.
Yep.
So even if the guys that I'm concerned about end up being as bad as we may think they could be, they have their replacements waiting in the Vic Fangio. We got Stoutland U. We got Vic Fangio, community college? Like, I'm trying to think. Stoutland U rolls off the tongue well.
Yes.
Fangio
would be more like a Penco Tech.
Fangio Tech.
Little bit rough, little rougher.
I like that.
A little rougher around the edges.
He's more of a trade school.
Yes. Oh, no. Definitely rougher, yes. Absolutely.
He was a shop teacher if he worked at a high school.
Yeah, he was. All right, coming up next. The major news over Labor Day weekend was the trade of Micah Parsons. But we're going to give our honest reaction next because I think John and I had different ones, even though I don't disagree with what you're saying. It's just how we both reacted where it was a little bit different. It's Kincade and Salciunas on this Tuesday morning. Welcome week in the NFL here on 97.5.
fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Got a busy week. Not only do we have the Birds starting their season on Thursday, we have a potential playoff preview with the Phillies and Brewers going on. Game 1 yesterday. We got all the hype with the Xfinity Mobile Arena, man, and you got Gritty hanging out with you over there.
Yeah, Gritty's hanging out here. Gritty, my girl's favorite, but this one's going to Coop. This one's going to Kincade Salciunas. Coop's going to have a blast with Gritty. Come on, he's going to have a blast.
I hope.
With Gritty. What, do you think he's going to bother him?
I don't know. We'll see.
Coop won't be scared of Gritty.
He's an intimidating fella.
Look,
Gritty's fun.
I'm sometimes scared of Gritty. See, you got the fun Gritty. I got the Xfinity Mobile Arena towel. Purple towel.
Okay, I like the purple.
Here, you want to trade?
It's interesting.
You get a towel. I'll get Gritty.
There you go. Like that very much.
This is Coop's new buddy.
By the way, this is good. Wait a minute, this is a good towel.
It's a quality towel, man.
No, that's a quality towel.
See,
Connor,
look at that.
This is you need to grab this one from one of the other bags. This is the golf, clean the golf clubs with towel.
Oh, yeah. That's a smart
That's
idea.
a good one.
But good stuff, good name, Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Now, do not let Haley corrupt you with any of her bad suggestions for the place. The Exmo.
Yeah, no.
She wanted to call it the Exmo.
No, we don't need all that.
No. We're going to come up with the name, but no. Haley came up with some bad ones.
I mean, yeah.
And Haley's usually good with this stuff.
I imagine it'll
she'll
end
be
up
there
being
today.
the X. Like, I'm just going to guess that's what it's going to end up
I think
being.
the X makes the most sense.
Yeah. All right, so we'll get back to our text messages momentarily at 610-632-0975, but I want to rewind the clock a little bit, even though we talked about it at the start of the show, because it's major news for not just the NFC East, but it's major news for Thursday. The Eagles will not have to go up against Micah Parsons, even though we weren't totally sure if the Eagles were going to face Micah Parsons because of the contract dispute, and then there was the back issues that were happening. But now they won't have to face Micah Parsons in a Dallas uniform, I guess, ever again, because he was traded to the Green Bay Packers. Now the Eagles do play the Packers later on this season, and the Packers are a team that have high expectations, higher expectations than the Dallas Cowboys, even pre-trade for Micah Parsons. But it was a big move for the Green Bay Packers to make that defense a little bit better, and obviously more, it's terrifying when Micah Parsons is on the other side of the ball. Now, our reactions were different. When the trade goes down, my immediate reaction was to clown the Cowboys. Ha ha, Cowboys. Your immediate reaction, probably the smarter one, was uh-oh, Packers.
Yes. The Packers, one of the Eagles' top threats, just got better. The Cowboys were not one of their top threats. So with or without the services of one of the best defensive players in the game, the Cowboys were not going to be any threat to the Eagles.
Right.
So I wanted him there. And I wanted him on a long-term contract that would have kept the Cowboys in their rearview mirror for the unforeseen future. Whereas now, one of the Eagles' biggest threats in the NFC just got significantly better.
Now, I will say, so the trade happens at 5:05 on August the 28th. I did put out a tweet at 5:37 when I finally saw it because I was perusing
You were
on the
channeling your inner
Stephen A. Smith doing the last. I did tweet out at 5:37. Oh my God, Jerry Jones is such a joke. Packers are dangerous though, but that's beside the point. Because I do see it the way you see it, that the Packers are a dangerous team, even more so now with Micah Parsons.
Did you see how much the betting markets changed?
I did not.
Vegas changed them immediately.
Okay, yeah, I would imagine
significantly.
They did. What do we got?
They went to division winners.
Okay.
They went up to division winners, jumping Lions immediately with the trade. One player, like it was that close. The betting markets, they're jumping the Lions with people, and immediately their odds to get to the Super Bowl, their odds to be NFC Championship, went right up with it. Right, they're bumping the Eagles now.
Yeah,
they're right there. I don't think that one player can really move the needle that much, but I absolutely believe he changes everything for that defense as far as just attitude.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It absolutely does. And look, you never know who you might get. Micah Parsons is already a tremendous player. He's now feeling probably a certain type of way, like rejuvenated. Like, I just got through this mess.
Sure.
He got his contract because they did end up paying him, too. So he gets through the mess that is the Dallas organization. And who knows? Maybe he goes, wow, I didn't realize just how bad it was. I know they're willing to pay people eventually, but look at this organization. I'm not at a circus. Maybe that's best for Micah Parsons, who's Mr. Podcast, Mr. Online, criminally online, right?
No, he's criminally online.
And he probably sees way too much stuff. Maybe it's a good thing to go to the Green Bay Packers organization. But it's interesting. This goes back to something we had a reaction to last year. And I still bring it up every once in a while, and it shows just how different we can all be when it comes to reacting to news. You always look at it Eagles or Phillies or Flyers or Sixers first, as does Connor. And I remember when the hip drop tackle was banned, even though they did not police it at all last year.
No, they didn't, did they?
Your immediate reaction was, wow, this benefits Saquon Barkley and the Eagles.
Sure.
Whereas my immediate reaction was, oh, my God, this is a joke.
You looked at it league-wide.
How do you police this? Which they didn't because they couldn't. It's a hard play to just determine. And also, if you're a 150-pound cornerback, how do you expect to tackle a 220-pound tight end? I'll hang up and listen. But anyways, that's beside the point. It's just amazing how when something like that happens, your immediate reaction is, how does this help or hurt the Eagles? My immediate reaction is to, all right, the Dallas Cowboys are a joke. Let me laugh.
Yeah, I immediately look at the Eagles. That's selfishly.
Connor, how did you look at it?
Oh, I laughed at the Cowboys immediately. We'll cross the Packers bridge in Week 10 when we come to it, and we'll have plenty of time to look at how – we'll also have a lot of data points of what that Packers team looks like before you play them. But you're getting Cowboys Week 1, and they just got worse. And their owner/GM/destroyer of franchise is looking like a moron every single day. I'm happy about that.
And look,
it was fun.
You got to play that team twice.
Yeah.
Packers may play twice. You never know come playoff time. But I am guaranteed 2 games against the Dallas Cowboys who will not have Micah Parsons.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about the Cowboys.
Yeah, but
you were going to be a touchdown favorite against the Cowboys.
Get those NFC wins.
Yeah, the Cowboys, but the Cowboys weren't a threat. The Packers are a threat. And you're going to Green Bay, and Green Bay has every bit of the revenge on their mind, and they're a really good team.
Oh, I'm sure. You got a couple of teams like that. You got the Chiefs in Week 2. You have the Rams in Week 3. It's the revenge tour.
It is. It's the first month.
Eagles. That's probably like a Taylor Swift tour, isn't it? Revenge tour.
Well, she's usually just writing songs. Yes, she's writing songs about people.
Till the next album.
Exactly.
All right, coming up next, there has been a consistent message from Nick Sirianni and his Eagles players. We all know what that is. Last year was last year. Nothing to do with last year. Oh, screw last year. We're going to play you 2 clips from this most recent press conference that kind of shows you why the message is faulty. but we could use this as a positive. Not a bad thing.
A learning tool.
Positive. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A big win for the Fightins. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies had a big-time comeback win in Milwaukee yesterday to lead off their series versus the Brewers. They trailed 4-0. 5-1 early in that one, but came back to win 10-8. And Brandon Marsh 4 for 5. Harrison Bader 3 for 5. It was the bottom part of the lineup that made big time swings in big spots. Bader talked after the game about the mentality he tries to keep day in and day out.
So I think the energy aspect is really important. Just bring it every day, regardless of where you're at, because stuff's going to get hairy down the line. So just being really good at training yourself to be high energy and high support for your teammates every single day, I think is a good practice.
Yesterday's win was the Phils' 80th of the season. They now have rebuilt a 6-game lead in the National League East. They're off today in the middle of that series with the Brewers. They'll play them again tomorrow night. We're 2 days away from the start of the NFL season. Eagles-Cowboys, Thursday, 8:20 p.m. And we're still keeping an eye on who the Eagles will have available to see if guys like Landon Dickerson, Drew Makuba will be ready to go for Week 1. We'll keep you updated on that. We'll talk to Jeff McClain of the Inquirer at 8:25, Mark Schlereth at 9:10. This update is brought to you by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Fanatic, I just saw something on social media that made me laugh, football related. It's that time of the year again. Do you have any UNC related stuff in today's headline?
Yes, I do.
All right, so I'll just bring this up. We'll talk about hoodie and all that kind of stuff later. TCU rolled yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Just destroyed UNC.
Crushed.
With 4.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, TCU was up 48-14. And on a 3rd and 4, TCU took a shot downfield, and the quarterback threw it out of bounds. Double coverage. You're up 100 points.
Sure.
Just get rid of the ball, right?
Yeah.
And the cornerback's doing the
no.
waving the finger.
Oh, no.
Hell yeah.
And it's like,
how bad was the score at the time?
48-14.
Oh, jeez.
With 4.5 minutes to go.
Oh, jeez.
It's back. Football's back.
That's a true corner right there.
Football is back. A cornerback has that much swag and that much confidence within themselves that a quarterback could just throw the ball away just to get rid of the ball because you're up a bunch of points. And you're waving the finger like, yeah, I did that.
That's going to go over the film room really, really well. The funniest thing I did read this morning, though, was that Bill Belichick's girlfriend has entered the transfer portal. That was the best line of the day that I'd read.
Yeah, well,
that's not a good
start for
not good look.
Hoodie's tenure, but Temple Owls.
That was really good.
Very good start.
Coach
Keeler.
That's good.
All right. So the Eagles have had a consistent message since the beginning of not even training camp, OTAs. Screw the Super Bowl. It's over.
Yeah, I love that. Like we moved on. We turned the page. We're not talking about last year, but are we?
Even though they still have to do all the, all
the
Fox,
media stuff,
NBC, CBS. What's it like to win the Super Bowl? All that kind of stuff.
No, we're not talking about last year, but are we? Seems like they are.
Nick Sirianni, I want to play 2 clips for you. And it kind of, is talking out of both sides of the mouth almost here. Here was Nick Sirianni once again, the same message that we've been hearing for months now. Literally 4 months since OTA starts. Here's Nick Sirianni once again talking about how they're not focused on last year.
Yeah, we're not talking anything about a title or anything. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. How do we put ourselves in the best position to win this football game through our habits of OTAs, through our habits of training camp, through our habits this week? And how do you continue to get better as the year goes on? Well, that's your habits. That's all we're thinking about. That's all we're thinking about is this game and the players that they have on Dallas, and then our habits and our DNA of what we need to do to put ourselves in the best position to win. As far as to mention our leaders, though, we got great leaders on this football team. I know their focus is right in front of us. All that other stuff, it's not important. What we did in the past is not important. What we hope to do is not important. It's just about what we are trying to do each day to get ourselves better, to hopefully be playing our best football by the end of the year.
By the way, Nick sounds more Delco all the time.
It does, doesn't it?
Not important.
Well, maybe,
not important.
Maybe that's where he's living.
Not important. No, he's not. He's in Jersey. Isn't he?
Oh, see, I
think he's a Jersey guy.
Follow the Sirianni.
I think he's a Jersey. I think he's a Jersey guy.
So, at one point, he says, "So you're important."
Not important.
He's saying it's not important what has happened in the past, and we have talked about this a lot. Look, we understand what they're trying to do, right? Let's focus on what's in front of us, and the Super Bowl is behind us. But to say that you can't learn from previous, not just mistakes, right? Previous highs. Hey, that worked out really well for us.
Correct.
Let's do that again. Or previous mistakes. Like my last day down the Jersey Shore. Probably had a little bit too much fun. So I then said, I probably shouldn't do that again because I'm a 31-year-old grown man and I don't want to be hungover anymore. right? Like, we can all learn from previous mistakes to try to better ourselves moving forward. And we can say, oh, man, that glass of water I drank at night really helped me the next day. I'm going to add that to my repertoire, right? We all can use...
2 aspirin might help, too.
Yeah, that might help
2
as
aspirin
well.
with the water before you go to bed. That might
there
help.
are a lot of things in life, previous experiences, that you can learn from. And so we have sort of talked about that throughout training camp because they have thrown that in our face throughout training camp and OTAs and rookie mini camp, that last year was last year and this year's this year. Everything that happened in the past is in the past. But we believe in using previous information to help you moving forward. So that was cut 2 on the cut sheet. In case people don't know, usually the cut sheet is just, this was the first question that was asked, this was his answer. This was the second question that was asked, this was his answer. That was cut 2. Cut 1 was about his relationship with Jalen Hurts. Take a listen.
I think we've always had a really good relationship. And so it's just like any relationship that the more time you spend with each other, the more you put into that relationship, the better that relationship is going to be. And so, yeah, just I value that relationship that we have together. And like I said, it's been growing as we've been here. And we've worked on it since we've been here. We've been through ups, we've been through downs as a team, and those are the things that continue to help you grow. Right, the pain that you go through together, right, brings people closer together. The competing that you do on the same team helps people grow closer together. The time that you spend with each other helps you grow closer together. I think selflessness helps people grow closer together, and I really have talked about that at length with Jalen, of how selfless, Jalen was highly efficient as a quarterback last year and won a lot of games. But I think he has to take I think that there's a lot of talk that, he didn't throw for this many touchdowns or this many yards. Well, he was super efficient and he won a lot of games. And I always admire how selfless he is in those moments, in those situations, because all he cares about is winning. And so when you see in a relationship, when you see the selflessness of another person, that grows you closer together as well. All those things are why any relationship continues to grow, but all those things are why Jalen and I's relationship continues to grow.
So a couple of things.
Okay, what does that tell you?
Well, a couple of things. If we're talking about, not using previous experiences or stuff, like that was a beautiful answer, right? And he spoke very highly of Jalen Hurts, and he mentioned ups and downs. Look, there were downs. This time last year, 1 year ago, we were wondering how this relationship was going to continue moving forward because there was legitimate beef between Hurts and Sirriani. So when I say going into the commercial break with the tease, we're going to sort of show that Nick Sirianni is talking out of both ends here. At least it's a positive, right? The fact that they seem to have gotten past those downs and past those bad times, clearly to the point where they won the Super Bowl last year. But to say that you can't use past experiences to help you moving forward, I think that's just wrong because their relationship 1 year ago today was not good, and their relationship on September 2nd, 2025, by all accounts, is much better.
Yeah, that's not what he's trying to say. They're not burning the film. They're not wiping the hard drive. They're just saying we're focused on what's going on today. It's not like they're going to play the Cowboys and say, well, we have never seen this team. We're not looking at the tape from last year, so we don't know how to game plan. He's just saying, like, focusing on where they are right now and not letting yourself get caught up in the past. It doesn't mean that they don't learn from stuff that happened before. That'd be moronic. And this is not a dumb organization. And it's not a dumb head coach.
Here's the question. It's weird is that it's where everybody hears something when they listen to an answer.
Sure.
When I heard that answer and I watched, and then I watched it too, and then I saw him do it again and I watched it. I said, okay, tell us about your relationship with Andrew and how it's changed and how it's evolved and how it's gotten better. And if my answer is, well, Andrew's done a really good job of becoming more this. And Andrew's become a lot more selfless. And Andrew's become a lot more this, so it's helped our relationship get a lot better. What does that say? Like, to me, it came off bad. I didn't like the answer.
I didn't get that.
I didn't like the answer because how did their relationship get better? The entire answer was about being selfless. Yeah, like it was almost like Jalen had to change who he was for their relationship to get better.
So did Nick. They ran the same 4 plays.
Yeah, but I didn't hear Nick going, I needed to become a lot more selfless. I needed to become a lot more. And Jalen became a lot more selfless.
Well, he said Jalen talked about being more selfless.
But he talks about all the things Jalen did to change. I think Nick should have led with what he did to become selfless.
I didn't catch
that. See, now
that's
how I'm listening to it, and I'm going, dude, talk about what you did. Talk about what you did to change, because I guarantee he did some things to change too.
Yeah.
Because from all due accounts, Nick Saban doesn't dig a lot of people the way he digs Jalen Hurts. Nick Saban's like a flag waver for Jalen Hurts. So that tells me Nick made a lot of changes too. I just wanted to hear more what Nick did too, as well as what Jalen did. I heard all the praise of what Jalen did. It was very praiseworthy. Yeah. Well, what'd you do, Nick? I want to hear what he did too. I didn't get that out of that bite. What did he do to change?
I didn't catch that at all.
Well, it's because he didn't tell you. He didn't tell you anything.
I didn't even have that.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I was listening for. I'm like, okay, he's going to tell me what he did differently.
See, I look at it as positive. Like, hey, everyone, they ignore the past, but no, the past is actually good. Use that past for information. All right, coming up next. If you ever thought you were tough, think again. We have a wild injury update for the Eagles heading into week 1. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Join the Fanatic for the inaugural live broadcast of Unfiltered with Ricky Bo, Bill.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
41 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's get a couple of text messages here, and then we'll give you some updates on the injury front when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are getting ready for their Week 1 matchup to open up the NFL season Thursday night against the Dallas Cowboys. Our topics today, sort of an overall Phillies discussion. I have some questions as the show continues, but we are reacting to the Phillies' wonderful Game 1, wonderfully entertaining Game 1 win over the Milwaukee Brewers. I don't need to see David Robertson have a bad outing, but it was one. Go Phils. They win 10-8
Whoa.
in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
that's a great place to go in and get a win against one of the better teams in baseball. So wonderfully entertaining game. And then obviously the Eagles question that we have for you. We are all on the same page that the biggest concern is the defense, or areas of concern come with the defense. But are you willing to be patient about it?
We know our man David Robinson could be listening.
Sure.
Potential this morning. Yeah, that was it.
I don't think he's listening from Milwaukee.
Maybe he has the app. It's a day off. I understand a lot of quality golf's going to be played today out there. A lot of the players are going to play a little golf today. But Trey's been fantastic, and he's been really good in the field too. He's got to keep that ball near.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Bryson's got to make that play at second. It was
there were so
annoying.
so many comedy of errors yesterday. And by the way, too, is you can't walk two guys either.
No.
Robertson can't walk.
Hey, he looked really good in the first two at bats.
The first two guys, yes. It's like he started channeling his inner Nolan. He started nibbling.
I think, and this is a kind of bad excuse, but you get in a rhythm and everything. And when you get taken out of that, JT taking one to the to the marbles.
That's not
led
great.
to a delay.
Yeah, that's true. It's
might
fair
have
point.
thrown him off there.
By the way, is my man Rube. Rube's got to be a little less descriptive because he was talking more about it, not that it was that didn't really get the marbles. He's starts talking
got the
about
twig, not the berries.
Yeah, it's you don't have to get that descriptive.
See, we all know where it hit him. I'd just say
it. It all hurts. It all hurts terribly.
It all hurts. All right, what do we got in the text line? You can text show at 610-632-0975.
All right, we have a check-in from Bobcat from Kenneth
What's
Square.
up, Bobcat?
What's up, Bobcat?
Who says, I agree with John. This team has the second, talking about the Phillies, second best record in baseball with series wins against Detroit, L.A., Toronto, New York, the Yankees, and Boston, the six best teams behind them. But fans act like the sky is falling and have no faith. If they're so bad, then why would they be where they are currently?
And just to do the homework for which you had asked about, I hadn't done the homework. Mm-hmm. Since Wheeler went out, I put it out on a tweet. The Phillies are 10-6. Dodgers are 9-6, Cubs are 11-6, Mets are 10-6, Brewers are 8-10, Padres are 7-9. So since Wheeler went out, the Phillies have not lost any ground. They're just this, they're right there with all the best teams. They're playing just as well. And do I think they're as good a team without Wheeler? Hell no.
Right.
But do I think that does it show that? Yeah, they're just fine. Okay. And when I saw what the Dodgers won the World Series with pitching last year,
right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They can. The Phillies pitching is heads and shoulders above what the Dodgers won a World Series with last year.
Need the bats to be
correct. Elite. And yesterday, by the way, those bats were wild.
Oh, yeah, there were 14 hits yesterday.
It's not even that, though. It's not anything to do with the actual baseball play, to me, why the Mets series pissed me off so much. I know this team can play. They put up 19 runs against the Braves, 20 hits. It was their third 20-hit performance in a week and a half.
Well, Kyle Schwarber had 10 of those.
Yes, exactly.
But it's more the mental fortitude question. It's not whether they're a quality baseball team. It's you go into that building, you get your teeth kicked in, you look like your dog died. And then you roll out of there, and it's just okay, I would expect a team with these expectations to at some point chest up and be we've got to just find a way.
Look, it was a rough series.
That's it. It's not that they're not a good baseball team.
That we had to deal with,
That's
Connor. You and
terrible.
I had to deal with. We weren't drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I was having I was actually running my drink orders past Andrew.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I went with some Wimpy Boy drinks.
No, man, not when
and I was running them past.
When you're at a beach resort, there's no such thing. Dude.
I was looking at the Wimpy Boy drink menu, and I said, you know what? I'm going to check with my Wimpy Boy guy that I check with on those kind of things.
Man.
And Salciunas goes, I would try one of those. And we did. And by the way, then I went down and I tried a bunch of them.
Johnny Cosmo?
Yeah. No, I went with
that was some blueberry something.
Blueberry lemonade.
Bro, it looked fantastic. He
that sounds awesome.
sent me a photo of it. I was like, dude, why?
By the way, it was great.
Yeah.
And it was great.
And you're on vacation.
By the way, it was great. It was very good.
So a couple of injury updates. So first and foremost, our man Andrew DeCecco has been very consistent with his message when it comes to A.J. Brown about the hamstring, nothing to really worry about. I'm curious why. Look, I obviously understand why you want to be careful with A.J. Brown, but it's like I feel like we barely saw him practice at all during training camp. I guess he's just one of those guys where you go, he'll be fine. Run a slant route, he'll get a catch for 15 yards. But Jeff McClain asked A.J. Brown if he was going to be playing Thursday night just to confirm it, and his response was, hell yeah. So A.J. Brown, good to go. You don't have to worry about Thursday. Again, our man Andrew Gicheco was very consistent with that. But something to really point out, and I know it's still not certain that he's playing Thursday night. But the other day, over the weekend, Landon Dickerson was completely suited up and ready to go for practice. Now, he did not practice yesterday. The practice report put him down as a DNP with the back injury. Not the not surgically repaired knee, but the knee that got cleaned up.
Correct.
There is still a chance that he plays Thursday night. Now, I still think, I don't know about you guys, I still think I'm fine with giving him the extra 10 days.
I agree.
I don't need to rush him back for Thursday, and then the fact that they have 10 days until their Week 2 game against the Chiefs.
But what would you be doing that for? Because he doesn't, we don't know anything about that back thing. We don't know what it...
No, I'm still talking about the knee, if there's any concern.
But his knee was obviously fine. They weren't worried about the knee. He was going through everything fine, and so why giving him 10 more days?
I just think if you're even questioning it, I'm giving him 10 more days.
But they're not questioning anything with the knee.
Okay.
I mean, they're obviously not questioning anything with the knee. So why worry about it? I'm not worried about that.
You're not worried about the knee at all?
No, because they're obviously not worried.
I'm going to be worried about the knee.
Well, no, I'm going to worry.
See how it looks on the field.
Look, I'm going to worry about it too, but we'll see.
Yeah, I had the argument with Mike Gill, or rather the conversation when you guys were out. And I think the perspective for fans as to why to give him the extra time, a clean bill of health from an NFL training staff is not exactly a clean bill of health, right. I think is the perspective. Good to play football, if you ask Landon Dickerson, is probably not 100%.
Not listed on the injury report for the knee in any way, shape, or form is an NFL team's way of saying to you they're not worried about it.
Okay.
I mean, that's because then they could face loss of draft picks.
Either way.
They lose draft picks.
Either way, I stand by it.
They screw around.
If you ever think you're tough,
I'm telling you.
He just had whatever the official procedure was on the meniscus. When was that? July? Wasn't that long ago.
No.
I think it was July. And he could very well be playing in the first game of the season Thursday night. Something to celebrate. All right, coming up next, we'll check more of our text messages at 610-632-0975. Also, earlier in the show, John had the message for the doom and gloom Phillies crowd, and you tried waving off this Mets series. Bah!
Yep.
Pish posh. Who cares if they got swept by the Mets?
I like it.
So I have a response for you because I understand why there was such a reaction, and I've got history to back it up. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
An instant classic in Milwaukee. I'm Connor Thomas, and boy, did we have some big-time baseball yesterday up in Milwaukee against the Brewers. The Phils, an incredible comeback win. They trailed 4-0 and 5-1 early on in the game, but came back to win 10-8. Brandon Marsh went 4 for 5 on the day. Big day for him. And Harrison Bader, 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs, all in big spots. Bader talked after the game about the mentality he tries to keep day in and day out.
So I think the energy aspect is really important. Just bring it every day, regardless of where you're at, because stuff's going to get hairy down the line. So just being really good at training yourself to be high energy and high support for your teammates every single day, I think is a good practice.
He came up big yesterday for his teammates, and the Phils, well, they came up big with their 80th win of the season. They've now rebuilt a 6-game lead in the NL East. They're off today. They'll play the Brewers again tomorrow night. We're 2 days away from the start of the NFL season. Eagles-Cowboys Thursday, 8:20 p.m. from Lincoln Financial Field. And we're still keeping an eye on the Eagles injury report to see if guys like Landon Dickerson and Drew Makuba will be ready to go for Week 1. We'll talk to Jeff McClain of the Inquirer coming up at 8:25. Mark Schlereth at 9:10. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree.
Whose line is for
Eagles
Thursday
line
night?
7.5.
All right, so it's moved a full point on pretty much all books, it seems like. After the trade, Micah Parsons goes to the Green Bay Packers. So we're reacting to that. We're reacting to the Phillies' win yesterday. And obviously, the Eagles' question that we've been asking a couple of times today, and I want to check the text line at 610-632-0975, is whether or not you're willing to be patient with the defense. Because we all have questions and concerns when it comes to the Eagles' defense. But I am willing to let it grow, as we should be, because we just saw it last year play out the exact same way.
Correct.
We had questions and concerns about the Eagles' defense last year. It was the worst-ranked defense 2 seasons ago, or one of the worst-ranked defense 2 seasons ago. There was turnover, there was new faces, but there was Vic Fangio. And that's the guy that I'm going to keep on going back to.
I told you that I am going to do that I learned from last year, something very valuable, a lesson that I needed to learn. I put too much on style points. The Eagles last year had a horrendous, honestly, overall home schedule, the way that they played at home.
Sure.
And they won a Super Bowl. They had so many other years where they were much more dominant at home.
Right.
And I got to learn from that, and I have to remember it because I am a style points person way too often, and I need to realize a win is a win is a win is a win, and I got to move on.
Now,
and I got to learn from that.
We were waiting for like a beatdown at some point. I didn't really like the 20-16 win over the Browns.
I get you, but the thing is, I took it as, man, this team's just not. This is a fatal flaw. This is a problem. This is something that's going to cost them.
And then the NFC Championship game happened, and so did the Super Bowl.
Right, exactly.
And they showed lots of style points in those two games.
They did.
All right, you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Music Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. We'll check our text line in a second. I have a response to the doom and gloom for you. But real quick, during the break, we were able to try something absolutely delicious, Johnny.
Yeah, what'd we try?
We had some Wawa hoagies during the break.
We did. We prefer Wawa. We said that on the show.
Say it every single day.
Every time it hits 7-Eleven, yes. And we tried the Saquon.
So Wawa is thrilled to partner with the Philadelphia Eagles and their iconic running back Saquon Barkley to celebrate the return of football season and to excite customers with an exclusive limited-time Wawa hoagie called the Saquon. The Saquon, obviously, the star running back's go-to Wawa hoagie order made up of the oven-roasted turkey, American cheese, lettuce, onions, and the spicy mustard. I'm a big spicy mustard fan. The Saquon is available to order in all of Wawa's 1,100 stores across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and Washington, D.C. Oh, my God.
What?
They're all over the place.
That's amazing.
For a limited time, it can be ordered as a hoagie or a wrap. Wawa sees this collaboration as one more way to brighten the days of its customers just in time for the return of football season. And for our area, Pennsylvania and New Jersey and Delaware, the return of the Super Bowl champs.
Hey, I love that. Good to love it. It was good.
That was an ad lib.
Now I got to wonder: did Saquon order the? Does he get the Hers kettle sour cream and onion chips? Because I did not rip open one of those bags, which, by the way, I would love to.
Go for it, man.
No. That's what I've been, all the willpower I've been showing and all the work I've been doing and everything. That's what I normally would do. Is that part of his go-to order, or does he just get the Saquon hoagie?
Maybe he gets a little bit more.
Saquon works it off.
Big boy, got to eat.
Yeah, exactly. I think.
Yeah, maybe he does.
The one bag of chips for him is, I think he'll be fine. The one bag of chips for us, a little bit different. All right, so real quick before we get to the text line, so you're talking about the doom and gloom people following the Mets series.
Oh my gosh, we're not winning it. Oh, it was terrible. So no, and also too, by the way, I took screenshots and no more than I don't know how many people with the division race is over.
Yeah,
they're going to blow they're going to blow the division race, and I was literally just going, "Are you serious?
All right,
are you serious?"
Now you were like embarrassed by the reaction. I don't know how you could say it's embarrassing. The team that just knocked you out of the playoffs last year. And here's why I'll bring up a little bit of history. And it was from this season, John.
Okay.
The Phillies played the Mets back in April, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And it was the first time they were playing the Mets following the elimination of the playoffs when the Mets knocked you out. And nobody was expecting it to play out the way that it did.
No, it was like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday type of series.
And it was almost a, lack of a better term, a sack-up series. Like, let me see what you got. You got knocked out by this team in the playoffs. Now's your chance to go into their house. Obviously, it won't mean the same because it's a game. It's games in April and not the playoffs. But you can try to make your mark early on in the season, and they got swept. And every series after that, despite them winning, John, 2 of 3 against the Cubs, 2 of 3 against the Nationals, 2 of 3 against the Diamondbacks, and sweeping the Rays, 2 of 3 against Cleveland. At that point, for a lot of people, it didn't matter because that Mets series was so disgusting following what happened in the playoffs last year. And so now you're at a point of the season where we are entering the final stretch, right? We are now in the final month of the regular season. And that was one of the final series in the month of August against the New York Mets. So it was once again, for lack of a better term, another sack-up series.
Okay.
And they got swept again.
They did.
So that's why I don't understand why you were so shocked or disappointed by the reaction. Despite where they're at in the division, despite who the Phillies have beaten over the course of the season that you mentioned earlier in the year.
So when you play the Cubs and you play the Tigers and you play the Mariners and you play the Blue Jays and you play those aren't sack-up series?
No, we celebrate those, but this is
no, we don't celebrate them enough, obviously. We don't. When we beat the Dodgers in a series, those don't matter as much, obviously. All that matters is the Mets.
Because there's something about that Mets team
that's big, because
that will freak anybody out if they face each other in the playoffs.
Because we're just freaked out by the recency bias. It would be the same thing as the 2023 Phillies. The 2023 Phillies, that the year after the 2022 run, that lost the season series to the Marlins. Oh, my gosh, we got to play the Marlins in the postseason.
But the Marlins didn't knock you out in 2022.
We lost the season series to the Marlins.
But the Marlins didn't knock you out in 2022.
You didn't sack up against the Marlins. The Marlins were beating you in the regular season. And then you went out in the postseason and you mopped the floor with them. It didn't matter.
They didn't end your season the previous year. What happened,
Andrew, what happens in October is not what happens in August or in April. Now, things that you do as a team, like bad base running that the Phillies do, or stupid decisions you make at the plate, one of the biggest chase rates in baseball, those kind of things matter. Those things carry over. Against teams, they don't. And it's over and over again. The Phillies have won postseason series in all of their postseason runs when they've had good postseason runs or otherwise. And they've won in the postseason against teams that in the regular season they didn't do well against. It doesn't. The regular season is not transferable to the postseason. I understand you want to play well and you want to play better against the Mets. You do. You just want to. And that's absolutely understandable. And by the way, if you go out against next week against the Mets.
I was about to ask you a follow-up question.
No, that's absolutely. You go out next week, you lose 3 or 4 to the Mets at home and you play like garbage, then absolutely I'd say to you, man, that team, you play like garbage against the Mets. And if they play the Mets in the postseason, you have every reason to go, man, that is a bad matchup, and I would be absolutely concerned. About that, the Phillies, though, it doesn't it rolls off the back. The Phillies are the better team for a reason. The Phillies have a 6-game lead in the division for a reason.
Now
They're the better team.
I will bring up something that I brought up while you were out.
What's that?
The Braves were the better team both years.
But they were not in the regular season. The Phillies and the Braves were dead even in the regular season. Both years. Dead even.
All right, well, one team won 100 games.
No, but
they were still the better team. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face.
But the Phillies and the Braves were the same team. There was not, I believe the season series was like 9-8. It was like 9-8. The Phillies may even have won the regular season in one of those years. It was like 9-8, 10-7. Like they played really well against each other. It wasn't a smoking. It wasn't where the Braves mopped the floor with the Phillies and made them look foolish.
They went 8-11 against the Braves in 2022.
Where they were in 8-11, correct? I think they were 9-8 the next year?
5-8 the next year. So,
there was one of those years where it went to that.
Yeah, that's when it went down. Braves were the better team both years, and the Phillies beat them. And that's great.
So that proves the point against the Mets. That proves the point. That what happened in the regular season wasn't transferable.
No, I'm talking about overall team. The Phillies are the overall better team.
But what it says to you is if you went by the regular season, you'd go, Phillies can't win then. And then it goes, Braves are going to win because Braves are the better team in the regular season. And telling you is that it's not transferable. What is transferable is the Phillies bullpen issues.
Yeah.
Those are transferable. By the way, the Mets bullpen worse.
Sure.
Worse than the Phillies bullpen.
Helsley's been a mess.
Nobody would have expected it.
No.
And by the way, I didn't expect it.
No.
But it's worse.
All right.
And the Phillies bullpen better than the Mets.
I appreciate your confidence. You're going to have to hold my hand.
No, we won't have to. You can just hold your whoopee there. Now you got Franklin too.
I got Gritty and Franklin.
You can be like Ryan Williams from
Alabama. I got my Xfinity Mobile Arena pals.
Do you see Ryan Williams?
I didn't.
He has to carry his emotional support stuffed animal with him.
Oh, hey, whatever you need.
That's a new one.
Carry your stuffed animal with you.
I'll be honest, that's new.
Carry your stuffed animal with you everywhere.
I haven't heard that one. All right, coming up next, it is today's headlines with Connor Thomas here on Kincade and Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. That's a new one. Emotional stuffed animal. That's a new one.
Emotional support stuffed animals.
That's a new one
Yeah,
for
there you
me.
go.
Hey, what you got to
It
do,
happens.
I guess.
Yeah, but you know what you got to do? You got to get somebody to tell you, stop doing that. That's what you got to do. Stop doing that.
That was a new one.
It was different.
Real quick before we get to today's headlines. Question. I'm not going to overreact to one outing. But this Tim Meza.
Meza.
What was he doing out there? Just available. By the way, Allentown, the local guy.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Millersville.
Yeah.
You know, I know he was with the Pirates. And
Yeah.
Probably was too good for the Pirates, so they told him not to pitch. Because remember, they.
Oh, yeah, because they have just tons of pitching.
Well, they did that. Remember, they did that last year with Rowdy Tellez. He was like 5 at-bats away from hitting some sort of bonus. And
Where
they're
he was
like,
going to get it, yeah.
nah, we're going to release you, even though he was, I think, their 3rd best hitter on that team. But that's the Pirates for you. I'm, again, not going to overreact, but guy with a 3.84 career RA, why not? Bring him in.
Why not?
I was fine with it.
I love it.
The other thing we haven't talked about is Walker Buehler.
I love the Walker Buehler pickup.
Another, why not? Like,
why wouldn't you do that?
He might suck.
No, but why wouldn't you?
I've seen him with playoff success in the past. So
he
why
closed
wouldn't
out the
you do
World
it?
Series last year.
Yeah.
He got the last out in the World Series. That tells you how bad the Dodgers pitching was last year. If you say to yourself, Phillies can't win with Wheeler, look at who the Dodgers pitched last year in the postseason. I mean, they won a World Series. Now, the bats would have to really carry you.
Right.
It can happen. I mean, I love the Walker Buehler pickup.
Sure. I mean, look.
Why wouldn't you do that?
If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Right.
Period. Like, that's it. End of story. And, you know, I don't know how you would even consider using him. I would guess out of the pen. But
no, they're going to start him. Walker Buehler's starting on September 12th.
No, I'm saying come playoff time.
He could be your 4th starter. He could be your 4th starter. They're starting him. They're starting him for a reason. They're starting him for a reason.
Okay.
I mean, just to see. So we'll see. I love the fact that they did it.
Yeah, look, I had no problem. I liked it.
I love picking up like spare change or something. Give it a shot.
Especially a guy that has had previous success in his career.
Absolutely.
You know, you say, why not?
And Caleb Kaufman and him know each other.
Right.
So have a relationship.
Cy Young candidate a couple of times in his career.
Like, why wouldn't you do that?
No, you do it.
I love it.
See what happens. All right, it is time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
It's brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. All right, we got some new cereal to try, boys. I'm not sure if you saw this news, but Cooper DeJean's latest venture is out. He's got Coop's Crunch. You can buy it at any Hy-Vee, Redner's, and Dick's Sporting Goods, which I guess is a place you can get cereal now.
Okay.
And proceeds benefit the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital. So
I like that.
Yeah, it's for charity, and it looks kind of like Captain Crunch. I mean,
Is it like a high protein, low carb cereal? No,
it's Coop's Crunch.
All right, then why is it going to like Dick's Sporting Goods?
Well, because he's an athlete, I guess.
Because he's an athlete and he has a deal.
Right. I'm just saying, like, there are cereals now, like keto-friendly cereals where it's more protein. I don't know how they manufacture this stuff. It's in some sort of lab. I'm just wondering why, but okay.
Are you picking up a box?
No.
You have to. Come on.
Why?
Because your kid's name is Cooper. You want to get Coop some Coop's Crunch?
Do we have a picture of the box somewhere? I'm guessing.
Yeah, there's pictures everywhere.
It looks like it looks like Captain Crunch. It really does. It looks like Captain Crunch with green crunch berries.
Coop's Crunch, but it's got Cooper DeJean on it. Like if it was called Coop's Crunch and it was my son, that's a different story.
I don't know, man. If it was called Connor's Crunch, I'd pick up a box, even if it's not me on the box.
Wait a minute. You said something embarrassing before the show, though. Share it with us about a cereal box.
Who, me?
Yes.
You.
Oh, that I have the Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce, like crossover box.
Okay.
My mom got it for me because she just saw it at the store, and I haven't opened it.
Why have you not opened it?
I don't know, man. I'm not all that interested in the cereal, but it's a cool box.
No, that's not why you did.
You said more to us.
What? Collector's item, maybe.
It could be worth something one day.
A collector's item? Really?
I don't know. One of those guys is a Hall of Fame. Well, both are Hall of Famers, and one just married Taylor Swift. You never know.
You're going to end up getting roaches. You're going to end up getting roaches or mice or something.
It's a sealed box.
Now, I should say.
You don't think mice or rats can get into a sealed box?
It's in the cupboard. They're not getting.
They'll get in. I should say I would like to buy a box of Coop's Crunch because of what it benefits.
Because for the charity.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. So I would like to.
2 boxes for $24. I think it's a good charity.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Well, we brought it up earlier, but we hadn't really gone deep into it. Hoodie started off his college football tenure last night. Bill Belichick and UNC took on TCU, and they got smoked, 48-14.
I was locked in.
And while the Bill Belichick story is great for the esteem of the UNC football team, like maybe recruiting and stuff like that, it also puts a target on their back. So this may not be the last time you hear this year, but TCU had a couple players go on Instagram Live right after the game, and they were taking their shots.
Belichick got to call for his girlfriend. Yeah, Belichick going to talk to his girlfriend. He said.
Say he's got to go call for his girlfriend, and he's sad now.
Look, they weren't just taking shots on Instagram Live. TCU football, their Twitter account, was constantly taking shots at Bill Belichick. Not anything about the girlfriend and the age of the girlfriend, but just taking shots at Bill Belichick. You put a target on your back when it comes to something like this. Now, I was excited for it.
Wait. Him having a girlfriend puts a target on his back?
No. The fact that UNC, look at who we have. We have Bill Belichick.
Okay.
I was locked in. I was kickoff. And I went into the second half, and then, 4 o'clock in the morning, you got to go to bed at some point, especially when it's a blowout. But, I was excited to see it. He is the same dude. He's got that same just face. He's got the hoodie.
Oh, no, he's got the same.
It looked weird, though. It looked
smarmy attitude.
It looked really weird with the, with the teal blue. Like, it looked odd.
He's still got the same smarmy.
He does.
Condescending answers.
Yeah.
He spoke more than he did at press conferences. That wasn't good.
What else you got?
All right, we'll round out with our replay.
The biggest concern for the Eagles, concerns are obviously on the defensive side of the ball. But are you willing to be patient and see how it plays out and see how they grow over the first month of the season?
Now, there's one thing that I need you guys to expand on a little bit, because you both kind of went with this whole, if they go 3-1 through the first 4 games, we've got no issues.
Yeah, we're all blood brothers on this. We're going to be grace with the defense.
And I said even better if you win those 3 games against the NFC opponents. I'm fine with the loss.
Yeah, you did say that.
My bar for the first 4 games is 2-2. Are you guys?
No, I'm not on board with you. No.
So if they're 500, where they were at last year.
No,
that's too far.
That's
against a tougher.
I'm not
schedule?
with you. No, I'm not with you on that. No.
See, this is why I brought it up.
I might side with Connor.
Who you give me the second? Who you give me the losses?
I
to?
just wouldn't be surprised if they started the season 2-2.
Okay, who you losing to? You told me you're losing the 2 road games.
I don't think you're losing the Cowboys. I feel very comfortable with.
All right.
Yeah.
So who are you losing to?
Some combination of Chiefs, Rams, Bucks.
We have
Who are you losing the 2 to?
It could be Chiefs, Rams. It could be Rams, Bucks. It could be
okay,
Chiefs,
that's
Bucks.
terrible. That's terrible. No, I'm not signing up for that.
I'm not predicting. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not signing up for that as being acceptable.
You don't see that as a world of possibility?
No, it's possible, but I'm not signing up for it as being acceptable.
3-1 is a hell of a bar with that schedule.
No, it's not. They're going to be favored. How many of those games are they going to be favored?
Fine. John says 3-1. You say 2-2. I'll say 4-0. It better be 4-0.
No.
Great. No,
I'm giving them 3-1.
Season's over. Must-win game. First 4 weeks of the season. Good job, Connor. We appreciate it.
Thanks, boys.
All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line. Our man Jeff McClain is going to join us tomorrow. All right, he's going to join us tomorrow, get us set for Eagles Cowboys.
We're having
week
ourselves
1.
a day today.
Yeah. Amy, all right?
Yeah, she's kind Completely forgot.
I just want to make sure she's okay. That's all.
She's okay.
Good. We just want to make sure.
That was my biggest concern, too.
Ultimately, I just want to make sure she's okay. So we'll check our text line coming up next. We'll get back to our topics on hand. We're balancing the Phillies and the Eagles because it is a crazy week ahead of Philadelphia sports, and it started yesterday with that wild 10-8 win in Milwaukee. I loved it. Hope to see more. Unfortunately, we have to wait a day because they're off today. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Bills get win number 80. I'm Connor Thomas. And the Phillies, they had an incredible comeback win over the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday. It started off 4-0, then 5-1. Then all of a sudden, the Phils came roaring back. They end up winning 10-8. Brandon Marsh 4 for 5 in the game. Harrison Bader 3 for 5 with 3 big RBIs. And Bader talked after the game about keeping the right energy to keep the team zoned in.
So I think the energy aspect is really important. Just bring it every day, regardless of where you're at, because stuff's going to get hairy down the line. So just being really good at training yourself to be high energy and high support for your teammates every single day, I think is a good practice.
He's shown that in his time with the team, and he came up big yesterday. Yesterday was the Phils' 80th win of the season. They now have rebuilt a 6-game lead in the NL East. They're off today. They'll play the Brewers again tomorrow night. And we're just 2 days away from the start of the NFL season. And, of course, it starts Eagles-Cowboys Thursday, 8:20 from Lincoln Financial Field. We're still keeping an eye on the Eagles' injury report to see if guys like Landon Dickerson and Drew Makuba will be ready to go for Week 1. We'll talk to Mark Schlereth coming up at 9:10. This update is brought to you by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Live here on Kincade and Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic. Good morning to you. Welcome into another football season with Kincade and Salciunas. All I'm saying, John, is that in year one of Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5, The Fanatic, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl.
They did.
I'm just saying, could there be a reason why they won the Super Bowl? I don't know. Now, I do have to call you out on something.
What?
Mister, I don't believe in jinxes. I saw you tweeting at Connor yesterday with the black cat emoji, GIF.
Yeah, I'm saying we can talk about things when they happen. What? No.
That's
this goes
worthy.
No. What are we talking about? Things that aren't happening. It's like your dynasty talk. Let's talk about things when they happen.
Then why the black cat emoji?
Because it's like, stop talking about things that haven't happened yet.
You can just keep saying that, but black cats are bad luck.
Let's talk about things when they happen. We have plenty of time for
Just for context, in case people don't know, Connor puts out a tweet yesterday. We are on Win of the Year watch in Milwaukee.
And he does this all the time, and it never works out.
Clutch at bat after clutch at bat for the Phillies. Please don't make me regret tweeting this. And John quote tweets it saying, would you please stop with the premature tweets with a black cat, which is
And by the way, this is where, and also, go back at his tweets from yesterday. This is Connor who had already bailed out of the game in the first inning.
Absolutely.
He bailed out of the same game.
Stop changing the subject.
No, I'm not changing the subject. He had already been one of those fans who in the first inning is like, oh, Taijuan Walker doesn't have it today. Well, got to get back at it tomorrow.
I'm just saying.
Because we had a pitcher's not doing it.
Somebody that doesn't believe in jinxes wouldn't send a black cat.
How about this? Let us talk about things that happen when they happen. We can wait till the end of a 9-inning game to say whether it was the game of the year or whether it wasn't.
I called it. Sorry.
You bailed out of that game in the first inning.
Right.
You were one of those fans yesterday. Well, we don't have it today. We'll get back at it tomorrow, folks.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait a minute. Bryce Harper hit a home run. Maybe we're alive.
I'll tell you right now.
You are like literally a schizophrenic in a room with padded walls.
Slow down.
Watching a game.
I talk about the Phillies for a living. I'm going to tweet about the game as it happens. And if I think that they're having a good day, I'm going to say that. And if I think they're having a bad day, I'm going to say that.
Yeah, but you shut the lights out on days.
Yeah, sometimes.
You shut the lights out, and it's the second inning.
We all do.
No, we don't all do. You see, you do this. We don't all do that. The majority of fans do not. 50% of us.
Go through the timeline and see how many people said they were dead in the first or second inning of that game.
50% of us, or 50.1% of us, do not watch a game and go, well, it's the third inning. This game's over.
I don't think you have the data to prove that.
No, because we don't have to do it, because you don't live out loud.
You don't have to do that, John, and that's okay. But I like to react as things happen.
But you quit on them. You quit on the same game, and then the next game.
You're right. I thought they were dead. I was wrong.
And then 3 innings later, it's like, win of the year. And then it's like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
Connor, I didn't mean to change the subject.
Come on
No, I thought we were just going to talk about jinxes because obviously John believes in jinxes
it's called, let's just wait and talk about things when they happen.
Yes, black cats always indicate let's talk about things that are happening.
Because when you call games off in the second inning, and then you say it's the win of the year later, and then it becomes not the win of the year, and then it becomes the win of the year.
Yeah, you got caught in the act, John.
Let's stop.
Let's stop.
John. No, it's fun. This is fun stuff.
I give Connor the black cat. I've sent you that at least how many times this
because
year?
you believe in jinxes.
No, I've sent him that at least.
We get it. You just don't get it.
I bet you could track that to me at least 4 times this year. Because he loves to send out the premature tweet that's wrong all the time.
Johnny Jinx.
It's Kincade. Over and over.
Win of the year tweet was right. It was the win of the year, was it not?
It was the win of the year.
Yeah,
it was point CT.
No. What was your first inning tweet? Your second inning tweet? So it wasn't the win of the year. You can't call the win of the year tweet right when you called the game off in the second inning.
One tweet was wrong, one tweet was right.
Well, then you're 1-1. You didn't get
fine.
it right. You know
500.
You know who got it right? The guy who said before the series began, I feel very optimistic about this Brewers series. We'll see how it works out.
Oh, wait. The series that isn't over?
Yes, we're going to see how that works out.
Because they won game 1?
We're going to see how that works out.
So if they lose the next 2. But we can't say stuff before things happen.
Yeah, I'm going to say that.
What are we doing here?
I'm going to say that looks a lot better.
Our man Mopar on our YouTube chat says the Dr. Phil on my shirt needs to, actually come out to real life and talk to you because you are non-jinx believer.
I'm not a jinx believer.
All right,
I will walk under any ladder. I will.
What do we got on the text line, Mr. Thomas, about any of our topics, including Jinxes?
Oh, we got a bunch of stuff, but Joe from Hamilton is checking in on that patience conversation with the Eagles. And he says patience is a virtue. I think we have to give this team the benefit of the doubt. Barring a significant injury, they are the NFC favorites, regardless of the defensive concerns. Quignon and Cooper DeJean will be generational, and Howie will figure it out via trade if need be.
Yeah, so I want to unpack this a little bit with the patience conversation. So obviously, I think we're all on the same page here that they deserve a little bit of patience, right? Because they are defending the Eagles, because they're defending the record-wise, right? Let's say 2-2, 3-1, whatever. Why no, dude? You're just talking about how you learned from last year.
Yeah, but no, not 2-2 doesn't deserve it. No. No, I'm not that way.
They were 2-2 last year to start the season.
No, they don't deserve it on style points. They deserve patience on, not on the record-wise. No, just because they started out like crap last year doesn't mean that we should accept it this year. No, I'm not with you on that. I am not with you on that. I'm with you on 3-1. I'm with you on giving the defense time to come around. I'm not with you on 2-2 starts. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
I am not with you on that at all.
All right.
Just because they had a crappy start last year, we shouldn't be like, yeah, they can have another crappy start this year.
Well, not all crappy starts are created equal. Like last year, they played the Falcons, the Saints, and the Bucs, and obviously the Packers week 1. But you're looking at teams that are big-time postseason contender teams that you're playing outside the Cowboys. So it's not as easy of a walk as they had.
Now, some would say that you want them to look good against those teams because those are the teams you might be facing in the playoffs.
Some would say, are you expected to be, are you supposed to be better than the Chiefs this year? Yes. Are you supposed to be better than the Packers this year?
I mean, better than all 4 of those teams.
Yes. You're supposed to be better than all 4 of those teams this year. Yes.
Right, but that's not how the NFL works. You can't just say, I expect them to be better so they win all these games.
Well, I'm not supposed to go, okay, I'm supposed to be better than all 4 of these teams, so I'm going to accept losses to 2 of them.
Yeah, but John, they're supposed to be better than, let's face it, all 17 teams they're playing this year.
But you're not, there's going to be times in this thing, like a Buffalo game. If Buffalo's playing for something, they're not going to be expected to win at Buffalo.
Okay.
If Buffalo's playing for everything and the Eagles are playing for everything, you're not going to expect them to win that game. If they do, it's a wonderful thing. That's a different story. At that point, you're not expecting them to win that if that happens.
To your point, though, you just said these first 4 games, they're better than all 4 of those teams. Then you should say they're 4-0.
No, I think that they're going to be because I'm not expecting them to win. I'm not like a Chiefs game. They might not be favored in the Chiefs game.
Yeah, but then what if I say like the Rams, who are coming in?
They should absolutely beat the Rams.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying.
They should absolutely beat the Rams. The Buccaneers is 1-2, another one. I am not going to accept them losing again to the Buccaneers.
No, I need them to beat the Bucs.
Right.
I need that to
right
happen.
there. I'm not accepting a home loss to the Rams, and I'm not accepting a loss again to the Buccaneers. You're better than the Bucs. You have a much better roster than the Bucs.
Yeah, the Bucs are the Eagles, Mets. So
there's something.
There it is. So I'm not accepting that.
Now, when it comes to the patience conversation, like the defense, the reason why we're saying be patient with the defense is because it is a new look defense, and if you have questions and concerns with them, and the fact that these battles for certain positions went until the final week of training camp, obviously the Eagles aren't so set on who is in-house at cornerback 2 and at that second safety spot, the fact that the battles went till the very end of the wire here. But when it comes to the offense, no, I am not going to be patient about the offense. And maybe I'll give Patullo a series or 2 early on to get his feet wet. But ultimately, you have all the talent in the world, including the number 1 ranked player by his peers in Saquon Barkley, which we'll talk about soon this hour. You have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. You have one of the best offensive lines in football. And you have Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. There's really no excuses for the Eagles' offense to start the season. There is none, especially when you are saying they need to be the reason why you're winning games in the first month of the season. They have to be.
They should be.
I'm not expecting the defense to hold these teams to 17 points.
The defense needs to be good, not great. The offense needs to be great.
Yeah, offense needs to be great.
Offense needs to be great and to be able to. And now the offense is probably going to. The offense could even need to be great against Dallas. Could need to be great.
Yeah, no, I think. What's the over/under for this game?
I don't know.
We know it's 7.5. Hold on. Eagles are 7.5-point favorites for their Week 1 matchup against the Cowboys, and the over/under is 47.5. I can see an over piece.
By the way, Chaz sends in Thank you, Chaz. He says, tell Mopar Dr. Phil's not even a real doctor.
I don't know what you need,
He says
John.
he's a psychologist.
I don't know what you need,
He's
John.
not a real doctor. Wait, doesn't that make you a doctor if you're a psychologist?
Yes, because you get a doctorate.
Yeah, but you're not a doctor.
Yeah, but you get a doctorate.
Yeah, but you're not a doctor.
Got to defend my sister.
Yeah, but you're not a doctor.
Andrew Salciunas, doctor of takes.
A doctorate doesn't make you a doctor.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you a doctor.
But you call them doctor whatever.
Yeah, but you're not a doctor.
You call them doctor.
Well, no, they're just adding doctor.
I'm just saying.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, disrespect my sister.
I didn't know. I thought he was a doctor.
Sandwich.
All right, coming up next. So other than power rankings,
I'm excited
about
Dr. Phil.
We finally reached the end of list season, thank God. But one finalized yesterday that all Eagles fans should celebrate. Saquon Barkley, number 1. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, a Birds Insider update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
I'm Connor Thomas, and we're just 2 days away from the kickoff of the NFL season. The Eagles will take on the Cowboys 8:20 p.m. Lincoln Financial Field this Thursday to start off the NFL season, and it's going to be an awesome matchup, not just because of banner night, but because, the Eagles seem to be pretty set to head in their Week 1 matchup with the Cowboys. There are some questions about a couple of injuries that need to get taken care of, with Landon Dickerson dealing with some back issues in addition to his rehab from his knee injury. We'll see if he's available. Rookie safety Drew Makuba, we'll see if he's ready to go. But because things are so set for the Eagles, we got some interesting questions in Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni's recent media availability. Relationships are a big part of what the Eagles do in the locker room, and there have been questions about the coach and quarterback's relationship in past years. So Nick Sirianni talked about the growth of his relationship with QB1.
I think we've always had a really good relationship, and so it's just like any relationship that the more time you spend with each other, the more you put into that relationship, the better that relationship is going to be.
And that certainly happens when you've been with each other as long as Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts have. So Hurts was also asked about his relationship with that coach.
It's just growing day by day. We obviously both of us love to work, love hard work. I have a ton of grit to ourselves, and we're passionate about that. And we express that through our work.
Listen, when you're getting questions like that with 2 days till game day, it means you're in a pretty good spot. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
Evander pushing back to his left.
fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The Fanatic. All right, so obviously during the offseason, they do the NFL Top 100 voted upon the players. And you know how I feel about it. I don't dive too deep into it because I don't know how a guy who's playing a 4 o'clock game can watch a 1 o'clock game or other 4 o'clock games. It's just based off of who you played. But obviously highlights are out there and all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't stop me from celebrating when one of our own is highlighted, and not just highlighted in the top 10 like 10, 9, 8.
76ers?
Damn right. Highlighted at number 1. It was announced yesterday that Saquon Barkley is, by his peers, voted as the number 1 player in the NFL, and that's really cool, John.
That was awesome for
now,
Saquon.
You value it more.
Congratulations to you. I was surprised that Saquon was number 1. I thought he'd be in the top 5. I did not think he would be number 1. I didn't think he was going to get it. I didn't think he'd be number 1. Like I expected when it came down. And they revealed him in like the 10s.
Sure.
I'm thinking, okay, Saquon's top 5. For some reason, I thought it was going to be Lamar. I thought it was going to be Burrow.
That's
Josh Allen.
That's your brain being poisoned by the MVP award because it's a quarterback award.
I thought that the peers were going to go that way too. So congratulations to Saquon Barkley. He has been every stinking thing that the Eagles wished he would be, hoped he would be, and I'll say it. I'll say it again because I own it like a badge. When they signed him, I was at a pool in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a pool in the Dominican Republic. And I said, my wife says to me, do you know who Saquon is? I said, Saquon Barkley? The Eagles signed Saquon Barkley?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, gosh, I don't want to pay a running back. I was so excited to get Saquon Barkley.
I think we all had the same reaction.
I don't want to pay a running back. But I was like, boy, I love Saquon Barkley, though.
Yeah.
But my first reaction was, I don't want to pay a running back.
And then look at what last year was. The running backs that got paid.
All paid off.
Saquon Barkley and the Eagles, Derrick Henry and the Ravens.
And they all paid off.
Josh Jacobs and the Packers. Look, they run into the Super Bowl champions in the first round of the playoffs, right? Like, the running backs that got paid this past offseason
were all worth it.
And you're starting to see backs getting paid. It's the return of the back, which is what we were saying last year.
Every one of them, well worth the investment.
Sure.
And to me, I feel so dumb. I feel dumb. I feel dumb because, the reason I feel dumb about it is because it was my first reaction.
Right.
And I loved Saquon Barkley, the player.
Of course.
But my first reaction was, I don't want to pay a running back.
Because that's what the NFL made you think.
No, that's what my gut reaction was always.
But the NFL was also doing that. Like the Eagles hadn't paid a running back since Shady because it was, let's get guys on the final year of their deal, like a Jordan Howard. We'll draft a running back like Miles Sanders. We'll draft guys, but we're going to run guys on rookie deals and run them into the ground and then move on. Whereas a guy like Saquon Barkley, they say, you know what? The NFL defenses have gotten smaller and faster, but now they are not able to stop these tough running backs, and that's why Barkley had the year that he had. Derrick Henry had the year that he had. Josh Jacobs had the year that he had. So Barkley comes in at number 1. Your top 10, Patrick Surtain, cornerback with Denver at number 10. Justin Jefferson, who we all know, at 9. Myles Garrett at 8. Derrick Henry, the other running back we mentioned, at 7. Burrow at 6. Mahomes at 5. Chase at 4. Josh Allen at 3. Lamar Jackson at 2. And Saquon Barkley at number 1. That's cool.
That is a fantastic honor for him.
And today's the same day we're celebrating the Saquon, the hoagie from Wawa.
Now, have you guys had your fantasy drafts?
Yeah, I did.
Did Chase go really, really high?
Yes.
I'm in a keepers league, so I already have had him since his rookie year.
He went very high in both drafts I did.
Did he go before Saquon?
Yes, I believe that he did.
Liv had the first pick in her office, her company. She got the first pick in her company draft, and she took Saquon. And I was like, good for you.
Yeah, that's
good for you.
You're going to be fine with
that. Good
pick
with that. She was wondering about Jamar Chase, though. That's who she was wondering about.
He's a stud, too. I don't think he can go wrong. By the way, the Eagles had 9 players within the top 100. The second closest was Detroit with 7. Houston had 6. And then it's, a bunch of players. A
mishmash.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Sixers.
Houston with 6. Standing alone. I like their defense is really, really good.
Yeah, they're top heavy. They just don't really have the depth built in yet.
Right, and their offensive line stinks, right? And so that's something that's something to question.
You can't overstate that.
No, not at all.
That's really an awesome thing for Saquon, though.
Yeah. It really is.
And for Howie.
And I'm glad that and for Howie. You're right. Now I would imagine that I said this all last year. They got more out of Saquon than they expect.
No question.
There's no way they thought they were going to get potentially record-breaking season from Saquon Barkley.
They did not.
All right, coming up next, we'll reset today's topics. We got a lot going on. We'll check our text line on it all. And then tomorrow night, I put on the show sheet tonight. I'm just so used to it. Tomorrow night is a major game for the mentality of the playoffs. It's a major test for somebody who has a failing grade. I had that a couple of times. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Win of the year for the Phils. I'm Connor Thomas, and we might have just seen it last night in Milwaukee. The Phillies had an incredible comeback win yesterday to lead off their series versus the Brewers. Phils trade 4-0 and 5-1 in that game, but came back to win 10-8. Brandon Marsh went 4 for 5. Big game for him. Harrison Bader 3 for 5, 3 RBIs, all in big spots, and he hasn't been playing every day. So he talked about after the game the mentality he's got to bring day in and day out.
So I think the energy aspect is really important to just bring it every day regardless of where you're at, because stuff's going to get hairy down the line. So just being really good at training yourself to be high energy and high support for your teammates every single day, I think is a good practice.
And he's been getting the job done. It was the 80th win of the year for the Phils yesterday. They now have rebuilt a 6-game lead in the NL East over those Mets. Phils are off today. They'll play the Brewers again tomorrow night. We're just 2 days away from the start of the NFL season. Eagles-Cowboys Thursday, 8:20 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. And we're still keeping an eye on the Eagles injury report to see if guys like Landon Dickerson and Drew Makuba will be a full go for Week 1. We'll keep you updated on that. We'll also talk to Mark Schlereth. There it is. Coming up at 9:10. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philadelphia Sports.
Touchdown! Saquon Barkley! Into the second deck, Bryce Harper! Shoots! He scores! That gave Beachcomb the magic man!
Mike Simon, a beauty! Brick wall play! in the air, and it's good. Ring the bell. The best city.
Back home in Philly. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys.
The best fans. The
fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
.97.5 The Fanatic. Our man Jesse here hanging out, watching the show. Great student from your sinus, man. One of the next up-and-coming media professionals here in the Philadelphia area.
We got 2 Centennial Conference guys already working at the station.
Why not 3?
Why not 3?
Let's add another one.
Really?
Yeah, we need more Centennial College people. Let's go.
Yeah,
Centennial Conference.
Right. Whatever.
Not everyone went to Temple there.
Yeah, come on, man. D1, baby. All right, so
us D1's kids, we can't do that.
Tomorrow we have a big game for the mentality of Phillies fans. Now, John, you've been poo-pooing anybody that's been down since that Mets series. Obviously, a win like yesterday against the Brewers.
I hope they tape their ankles and climb back on. Yeah, as they climb back on.
Well, it's not jumping off the bandwagon. It's just being concerned. Now, tomorrow night's a big one.
When I hear people say the division race is over,
well, yeah, I didn't
that the Mets are going to win the division last week, and I saw it over and over again. Yes, those people are climbing back on the bandwagon. Those are bandwagon jumpers by definition. That is that's the definition of it.
Well, unless you think they make a run with the wild cards.
No, you're a cockroach.
There are some people that prefer the wild cards.
By the way, if you think they're blowing this division 6 games up,
right, they're not going to. So Aaron Nola gets the start tomorrow, John.
Okay.
And I said going into the break, I had this happen to me a couple of times in my collegiate career at Temple University. I had a failing grade and needed to ace the final in order to pass.
And you did it?
And I did it, baby.
What'd you cheat off of?
Nobody.
Okay.
I swear, I just finally studied. Aaron Nola has been failing this year. Pre-injury, post-injury. He had really one good outing post-injury. I have not seen enough from Aaron Nola yet since his return for me to be like, all right, I can't wait to watch him pitch in October. I can wait right now to watch him pitch in October. But tomorrow's a game against a potential playoff opponent in the Milwaukee Brewers. Aaron Nola could make me a little bit more at ease if he goes out there. I'm not asking for 8 shutout innings.
Well, I'm glad you're not asking for that.
I'm asking for a quality start. The baseline quality start, 6 innings, 3 earned runs, or even if it's like, look, it's 5 1/3, and Rob Thompson makes a bullpen decision because he's going to manage it like a playoff game. I'm fine with that. But I need to see Aaron Nola go out there and pitch against a playoff team like the Milwaukee Brewers, where I go, all right, I'm going to feel a little bit more comfortable come October when he's pitched.
Okay, can I ask you though? And I'm really I'm not trying to be contrary with you on this one at all.
Right.
Last 2 starts, failing.
Well, 2 starts ago, he had the 2 earned runs.
Last 2 starts,
one was 4 earned runs, right?
Yeah, but he had the first inning against the Braves, and then he pitched 5 shutout innings.
Yeah, I don't want the first inning against the Braves.
Okay, no, but that's okay. But I mean, that
was against a bad Braves team? Like, I can't have a first inning like that against the Brewers.
They're not a bad offensive team. That's not a bad offensive lineup that he went up against.
Yeah, but then you were able to mash against that pitching and come back into the ballgame. If you're down 4-0 against some of these other teams,
I get you, but I mean,
I'm not going to feel good.
No, I'm talking about his performance against their lineup. He shut them down after that point. He locked them down and pitched really well, I thought. Like he got. Did he go 6 or did he go 5?
He went 6.
He went 6.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. I mean, like.
I don't need these blow-up innings, man.
Well, the blow-up innings, look.
I really don't.
The blow-up innings with Aaron Nola is what you're going to get. I mean, it's like we were getting that when he was good.
Right, but I'm relying on him now even more so now with the Wheeler injury.
You're relying on him to maybe be your 4th starter. Maybe. And if Walker Buehler comes in here and gets 3 starts before the end of the year, he's getting good. They're going to start him on the 12th, which means they're starting him on the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
That means they're going to start him on the 12th. They're going to start him on the 17th. They're going to start him on the 20th. He may get 4 starts before the end of the year. They're starting him for a reason. They want him to start instead of Nola.
How do you know?
Well, that's what they're doing. They're giving
it's a flyer. They're gonna see what.
Yeah, but they're gonna see what it got. But
he's been wretched this year, Walker.
But
Buehler, right? Like he had a horrible time in Boston. So you got to hope that he comes here and maybe
hasn't he been better than Nola
this year? Yes, because
like
this year
better than Nola.
Yeah, but Aaron Nola, how many times have we talked about resume? Aaron Nola and his resume and what he's done here for Philadelphia and how he's pitched in October.
I understand, but
I don't think they brought in Walker Buehler to say he could be your 4th starter. I think they brought in Walker Buehler to see what you have, and if you can use him in the bullpen, that's great.
See, I don't because I don't
think there's major plans with Walker Buehler.
I think the reason that they're starting Walker Buehler is they're seeing if Walker Buehler can start. I think they'd be bringing him in and they'd be using him out of the bullpen if that's what they wanted to do. They're starting him for a reason.
Connor, what's your read on this situation? As you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, A. Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Don't forget Mark Schlereth joining us in 10 minutes here at 9:10 to get the national perspective on the Eagles and also the NFL as a whole. He's got the Jacksonville game, you said.
Yeah, he'll be down in Jacksonville this week. It'll be hot down there. Connor will be just like you like it.
Love that.
The addition of Walker Buehler, like John's already thinking potential Game 4 starter.
Yeah, I think they're auditioning him for the Game 4 starter.
Sure, an audition.
Yeah, they're auditioning the way that if I auditioned to be in like a feature film, then maybe somebody would listen for a second. But it's a very high upside potential move with the playoff experience he has, with what he did for the Dodgers. He closed out the final game of last year's World Series.
Yeah.
So like it's not ancient history either. And it's a no-risk move. You didn't trade anything for just pay him whatever.
Yeah, if he stinks, he stinks. Like he just call it a day.
But I don't think they're heading into it with any preconceived notion of what he's going to be. I think it's we'll see what it is, and we have hopes for it. But I don't know that they haven't come up with a plan for the outfield they've watched all year. So I don't think they have a plan for the guy that they signed 2 days ago.
No, I mean, but they're starting him for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a starting pitcher.
Well,
he started 22 games this year.
That's to take innings off the guys that have been throwing all year for the Phils, too.
Correct. And but I believe that they're looking at him and they're going, he's been better as a starter this year than Nola's been. So they're going, we may have a better option here as a fourth starter than what we would potentially have in Nola, especially when you're looking at it going, Nola hasn't been much.
Yeah, I need to see. That's why tomorrow
this is a guy
my sanity.
in his starts, 6 innings, 5 innings, 7 innings, 6 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings, 7 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings, 7 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings. I mean, he's done a lot better than Nola's done this year. As a starting pitcher, he's been a lot more reliable than Nola's been.
Yeah, I'd say it's a non-zero chance that Walker Buehler starts a playoff game for this team. Like, that's on the table. But I don't think we're rolling into it saying, hey, we want you to be our fourth guy.
Now, I will say, to John's point, because here's the deal. Even with Aaron Nola's, since Nola's return, just the 3 games, 7.53 ERA, 3 home runs. It's not good.
No, it's not what you want. Yes.
Walker Buehler, since July 5th was his first start in the month of July. He made 4 starts in July. He made 5 starts in the month of August. He posted a 3.97 ERA. Not amazing, but not bad.
Under 4 ERA in the American League?
Well, that doesn't matter anymore because
it's the truth. It is the truth. Yeah, correct.
You know what's funny?
I still say
dude, I say it too. It's unbelievable. I still say the whole man, and that's a really good ERA for the American League. But
then you're like, ding.
It's the same thing. But he's pitched better as of late. His ERA this year is close to 6, but in the last 2 months, he's got an ERA under 4. So you hope maybe there's something there. Now,
and his postseason pedigree is every bit as good as Nola's.
Right. Now, the one big thing with Buehler is the long ball is still plaguing him just like it plagues Aaron Nola. So we got another potential fireballer in terms of home runs being hit. But look, I'm just curious to see how tomorrow plays out. I can't see Aaron Nola go out there and have another clunker. And so far, one really, really bad outing since his return, that game against the Nationals. A much better outing in Game 2 against the Nationals. And I know you're right, he did settle down, but I can't see a 4-run first inning against a playoff team in October, right? We would be panicking. If the Phillies went down 4-0 in a playoff game, we'd be losing our damn mind.
Now, I remember we went down, what was the game that started?
That was Bailey Falter.
Bailey Falter, and then they came back and got 3 in the bottom of the first, but we were feeling crappy.
Reese Hoskins should have won an LCS MVP.
Terrible.
What do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, we have a lot of people checking in on a bunch of different topics, including Jinxes, but we have someone regarding our Falcons texter earlier who said the Eagles could win all their games this year and everything. So this texter, Joe in Boston, says, the Eagles are favored in every 17 games they play this year, unlike last year when they were underdogs in 4 away games. I know we aren't going 17-0, and they do have 7 away games where they are favored by less than 3 points. That would be Kansas City, Tampa, Minnesota, Green Bay, the Chargers, Washington, and Buffalo. Which of those away games do we lose? Because you have to prepare for some losses coming.
The Eagles are The Eagles are not favored in every game.
Yeah, and I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not going 17-0.
The Eagles are not favored at They're not favored in every game though. Westgate already has they put out the things for every game. They're not favored in every game.
Yeah.
I think what the texter's trying to get to is just like when we get to the conversation about how many games should they win off the rip and what the expectations.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm preparing them to lose this game. I'm preparing them to lose that game. Just know they're going to lose games this year, and I don't think they win 14. Like, I think they take a slight step back win total wise, but as we have been saying since the schedule came out, so do the Commanders. And now that the Cowboys don't have Micah Parsons, I think that mini threat of theirs is gone. And so now all of a sudden you look around, 11 wins should still win you the NFC East. The question is, can you win the NFC that way? But what did we find out last year? You didn't need to. Obviously, things had to go their way. The Lions being as banged up as they were last year.
Yeah, we're not expecting the
Commanders going into Detroit and winning that game. Like, a lot of things happened to benefit the Eagles, but the Eagles were a machine last year in the playoffs in the last 2 games. What else we got on the text line?
This texter checks in and says, patience, ? They have the most talented roster in the league. We should expect them to be firing on all cylinders from the start.
They have the most talented offense. They do not have the most talented.
They do not have the most talented.
And I don't even know if I don't know where they rank. Preseason rankings.
Top 6 or 7, maybe?
I'm sure they're a top 10, yeah, for sure. But, there's a lot of questions. I can't say number one roster in the NFL when I have as many questions as I do with one side of the ball. Now, that doesn't mean they're not a spectacular team, and I don't think, I'm not saying that they're not going to be able to figure it out. Vic Fangio will figure it out, I believe. I have that hope and those expectations. But weeks 1 through 4, I think there's going to be growing pains with the defense. It just is whether or not the offense can overcome those growing pains, which at times last year they were unable to overcome them, which is why they started 2-2.
There you go.
All right, coming up next, Mark Schlereth from Fox, right?
Yes.
From Fox.
Fox, he'll do the game on Jacksonville on Sunday.
And we'll talk to him about sort of the national storylines and, of course, the Eagles themselves and how he views them. So hear from Mark Schlereth coming up next year on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
The summer's here, and you know what that means. Engagement season. But remember,
fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
2 days away from kickoff of the 2025 NFL season. 2 days away, of course, kickoff of the 2025 Eagles season. On the road to the repeat, Johnny, when they battle the Dallas Cowboys Thursday night. But, of course, we got an entire slate the rest of the week as well. We got Friday games. We have Sunday games.
And this guy has long been telling us about the components of this Eagles team. It's a solid foundation to be built upon.
And you know what? He probably appreciates the trenches. Joining us now on the Comcast Business Hotline.
He lives in them. Even today he lives in them.
Every day in business is a big day. Like Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. He'll be on the call this Sunday for the Jags-Panthers game. Get to see what Travis Hunter looks like on both sides of the ball. From Fox, our man Mark Schlereth joins us. Mark, good morning. How you doing today?
We got it?
I think we got him.
Think we do?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
All right, we'll try to figure some things out. The Travis Hunter thing. We're not working. Obviously, the Eagles play Thursday night.
I get to watch it.
I want to see. Like, I don't
think it's good. You said it was the game you're most interested in seeing in that time slot. When we did it, you said it was
the 1 o'clock game?
You said it was the one you were most interested in seeing.
Oh, I got to double check that.
You did.
Hold on. Did I say that?
I wanted Giants Commanders, and you said that was the game you wanted to see because of Travis Hunter.
Are you sure I didn't say Steelers Jets?
No, you said Travis Hunter. Okay. That's the game you wanted to see.
I'm going to say this.
I get it.
Speaking of it, I do believe people are going to be disappointed.
I don't think you're going to see as much.
Right. Like, it's not going to be like Colorado where he played like 100% of the snaps.
Right, exactly.
Almost. Like, I don't think he's going to play all that much. And I think there's going to be a couple of welcome to the NFL moments for Travis Hunter on Sunday. Like, I don't believe that he's just going to go out there and be the best wide receiver and the best cornerback to the point that the Jags trade as much as they did to go up and get him. I still question the decision to trade up for him. All right, we got him. Now on the Comcast Business Hotline, our man Mark Schlereth. Mark, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you, buddy?
We're doing great now that the phone works. Yeah, exactly. So first and foremost, we are 2 days away from kickoff between the Eagles and Cowboys, but we know you got a pretty cool game this Sunday between the Panthers and Jags. We were just talking about before we got the phone situated. Travis Hunter, you get to see him on both sides of the ball. How much are you truly expecting to see out of Hunter in his Week 1 game?
You know, I really have no idea because you watched him play Week 1 in the preseason. Then he had the upper body injury, and they say they're going to play him a ton. To me, it's a really interesting. It's one of the biggest top 10 storylines in all of football going into Week 1 with Travis Hunter and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'm fascinated to watch him try to play both sides of the ball. I think probably coming out of college, most people thought that he was a better defensive player than he was an offensive player, and understanding kind of routes and route combinations that he played on defense. You see him cheating route combinations. You see him kind of his understanding of the combinations, and then the ball skills he has to intercept the ball and go after it. But you invested $275 million in a quarterback that hasn't played very well. And so you probably want to, surround him with as many weapons as possible to give him the best opportunity, to excel. And watching him in the preseason, I was texting with Liam Cohen yesterday, just watching him in the preseason, the footwork and some of the things that he has changed over the course of this offseason is very intriguing for me. So it's a great, for me, it's a great matchup. And Travis Hunter's a kid that I ended up helping coach out last spring in Colorado, going up there and helping out with the offensive line and watching that kid operate before, his last year in college. So he's a special player and, a special human. So it's going to be fun to watch him.
Mark, talk about coming off a championship. You know what it's like. Coming off a championship. Nick Sirriani says we're not talking about last year. We're talking about this year. We're trying to focus on it. How hard is it to get the mentality to go climb that mountain again and what the Eagles are facing?
Yeah, I think it just depends on the maturity of your team. I think it's a really hard thing to do. You guys in Philadelphia just were blessed with great health for the majority of the season last year. And, that doesn't happen all the time. I remember, winning my first one in Washington and thinking, man, our team is loaded. We ran roughshod through the NFL that year. And the next year we were 10-6 with a bunch of injuries and, get bounced in the playoffs. And the following year after that, we won like 3 or 4 games. And so it can change quickly. You guys, I think if anybody, like if you polled anybody who follows the NFL closely, you would all say, and everybody would say that, Philadelphia's got a top roster, maybe the top roster in all of football. And I believe that to be true. So, you've got that for you, but our guys as focused, our guys, our guys as committed, have guys, been satiated by success. All those things are question marks, and you never know until you get into it. But there is a difference between hunting a Super Bowl and being hunted, and they will be hunted each and every single week. Now, I still believe they're the best team in football, but, the mentality changes, and you got to kind of set your jaw. And, I had the good fortune of going back-to-back in Denver, and, that second year was easy for the most part from the standpoint of we were a lot better. We were a better football team that second year. And we started off the season 13-0. But it is mentally exhausting because everybody is asking you constantly, can you do it? Can you go back? Can you repeat? Can you do this? And that wears you out.
Speaking of your time in Denver, obviously you got the block for Terrell Davis. Do you get a sense of pride with the return of the back? We saw Derrick Henry. We saw Josh Jacobs. We saw guys like Chuba Hubbard last year, tough physical runners. And, of course, our guy Saquon Barkley. Do you get a sense of joy when you see that playing out?
I do, because I know what it takes to be a good running team. I know what it takes to have a back to go over 2,000 yards. And it's not just the offensive line doing their job, because they have to. But the back has to do their job, the tight ends have to do their job, and your receivers have to be committed in the running game. And they got to be hard-nosed. And so it takes all 11 guys, your quarterback carrying out the fakes and doing all that stuff, all 11 guys, to be good in the running game. You've got to have sacrifice. And it just shows me, like, a couple of things. One, it shows me that you've got a football team that understands the game at a global perspective. So, I always say this about the diva wide receivers in this league. Like, I would like to take a diva wide receiver who doesn't run a for the love of the game route, for just a clearing route, who doesn't run that full speed, who half-asses that. This is why I'm probably not coaching. I'd put him on the offensive line for one-on-ones and make him take one-on-ones in practice and just beat the living piss out of him, just to let him know what everybody else has to do for you to catch a freaking football. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, everybody's got to do their job for you to catch a football. So there's that aspect of it. The other part of it is it's smart, because what's happened, the transition, the cyclical nature of football, what has happened is our defenses have gotten tiny. The 100 or 220-pound linebackers are playing middle backer because they need guys that can run, that can cover with all the spread and all the gun and all the things they do. So a lot of teams have just gone, let's get to 2 tights or 2 backs. And if you're going to play us in nickel or big nickel, we're going to bludgeon your ass and see how you like that. And so I love that aspect of football. And then when you implement a quarterback who can also hold a defender, hold one side of the defense because he's such a threat to run, like you guys have in Philadelphia. Dude, I get all excited about it. My coach my college coach who just passed away, Dan Cazzetto, one of the great men that I've had the pleasure of coaching. Man, I had 4 Hall of Fame football coaches. I had Dan Cazzetto, I had Joe Bugle, I had Jim Hannafin, I had Alex Gibbs as my offensive line coaches. Just Hall of Fame, all of them Hall of Fame guys, taught me so much about the game. But he used to say this all the time. You pass the score, but you run to win football games. And you guys did that. And I was so impressed with Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, where Saquon's averaging, 2.6 yards per carry or something. Kansas City said, you're just not going to run it against us. And yet you still gave him the ball 20-plus times. Like, that to me, attempts are so important. It's such smart coaching. With Nick Sirriani and obviously Kellen Moore, who left to Saints, but it's such smart coaching, and I just appreciate that aspect of the game, and I just love the running game.
Mark, when we used to work together at night, I would say to you sometimes there was math involved, and you'd get a little salty with me. But here's some math for you: 37-58 in your back-to-back titles in Denver. Terrell Davis went for 3,758 yards. But everybody here is very squirrely about the fact that Saquon went for $2,000 last year and says, can we expect him to do it again? Now, obviously, you can't count for injury or anything like that, but what do you expect out of Saquon Barkley this year? Everything you know with the Eagles coming back.
Well, I mean, look at everybody's numbers. Every guy that's run for 2,000 yards in the history of the National Football League, when they came back, not one of them eclipsed 2,000 yards, and more importantly, every one of their yard per carry average dipped significantly. And some of that is because you ain't beating us that way, right? Like the ball run down your throat is humiliating for a defense. Hey, you throw one over somebody's head and you're like, all right, we'll live with that. But when it's just consistently, 8, 12, 14 yards, 36-yard touchdown, whatever it is, that's humiliating to a defense. And I played defense in college, and I know what that feels like, to not be able to stop their running game. So that's humiliating. So the part of it that they'll be prepared, not that they weren't last year, they were, but they'll be more prepared. The other thing that sometimes changes a little bit, and call me a conspiracy theorist, but things that weren't called holding the year before when you got 2,000 yards are all of a sudden penalties. They're all of a sudden, I always felt like you get scrutinized a little bit more after a big year like that. So we'll see, but the odds are, hey, listen, can you do 1,400 yards and have a great balanced offense? I mean, that's a win. You do that, you're going back to the Super Bowl.
Mark, we appreciate the time, man. We're looking forward to seeing the season start again on Thursday. We'll be watching your game this Sunday between the Panthers and Jags, and I'm sure we will be bugging you again down the road.
Anytime. See you, Johnny, man.
See you
Always
soon.
Appreciate you, brother.
Love you, brother.
There's our man Mark Schlereth on the Comcast Business Hotline. All right, coming up next, we go from a national voice in Mark Schlereth to maybe the national hot take being done for now.
For now?
Why? Because maybe people finally want to be on the right side of history. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A wild win in Milwaukee. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies had an incredible comeback win yesterday in Milwaukee to lead off their series against the Brewers. The Phils got down early in this one, 4-0, 5-1, but they fought all the way back to win 10-8, and a big part of that, Brandon Marsh 4 for 5, Harrison Bader 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs, and all those came in big spots for him. Bader was one of the men of the moment, and he talked about keeping that activity and energy even when he's not necessarily playing.
So I think the energy aspect is really important to just bring it every day regardless of where you're at, because stuff's going to get hairy down the line. So just being really good at training yourself to be high energy and high support for your teammates every single day, I think is a good practice.
Yesterday's win was the Phillies' 80th of the year, and they now have rebuilt a 6-game lead in the NL East. The Phils are off today. They'll play the Brewers again tomorrow night, and we're just 2 days away from the start of the NFL season. Eagles, Cowboys, Thursday night at the Link. We're still keeping an eye on that injury report to see if guys like Landon Dickerson and Drew Makuba will be ready to go for Week 1. Keep you updated on that over the next couple of days, and we will keep you updated on everything ahead of Eagles, Cowboys. Big-time matchup starting off not just the bird season, but the whole NFL slate. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Yo, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo and the Bird. fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
He was joining us last night.
He's a good dude.
He's a great dude. I love his work. I was saying to you, I don't understand why he's sometimes considered toward the lower end of the Fox analyst team. I like him. I think he's really good.
He's the fourth team, and but it's hard to move up in the analyst rank there, especially once Brady went in.
Yeah,
because then it just knocks
down Olsen down.
Right, exactly. And then he's on the fourth team, so
I think he's great.
His track record in his previous professional life, maybe they don't want to smell him.
It doesn't. Well, believe me. Yeah, you know what's funny is, you know what's really funny though is Connor, and I would get on him for this, and then he'd threaten to beat my ass. He's very metro. He's incredibly metrosexual.
Just not on the football field.
But on the football field, he was incredibly opposite.
Yeah. Hey, home life, work life.
He is incredibly well groomed, well put together. My wife, if she knew Stink was going to be on,
she would listen.
She was a huge fan of Mark, loves Mark, it's like her kind of man.
Yeah,
I'm like not. I said, well, you married me, but she goes, yeah, but he's sort of like very manly guy, but he's very metro.
Sure,
does the self-care. All the self-care stuff. He's very into that.
I use Dove for Men. All right, so
you got the 8-1. I don't want to hear it from you.
There you go.
No, I used to though, and
did used to use that?
Face motor oil.
I used
body
it
wash.
Down the shore this weekend.
By the way,
my dad has the outdoor shower, and it's the 5-in-1.
Oh, he uses that? No, don't use that.
All right. The Athletic did something interesting, and you sent it to me in an email.
Sure.
And I think it's really cool. Now, I wonder how your read is on it.
Do you want me to give you the rules of what they said?
Sure.
Just to really put it out there.
Please.
They took responses from executives. So these are executives of NFL teams that chose to respond. 25 responded to some questions, 28 responded to some, 23 responded to some. There were some but there were 31 NFL coaches and executives that were involved.
By the way, I love that the NFL coaches and executives are open to doing
that. Will take the time.
I like it.
Now, two of the questions that I sent to you that I thought were really interesting was name 3 teams that will exceed expectations this season. Name 3 teams that will fall short of expectations this season. These are not their fan base's expectations.
Right.
These are considered the expectations of the league. So where an Eagles fan may say, Super Bowl or bust.
Right.
The NFL expectations across the league are the Eagles are considered to be one of the best teams in the league.
Sure.
Whoever is considered to be the Jets are one of the worst teams in the league. So it's what league expectations are of teams, not what individual fan bases think.
Right. Now, the name 3 teams that will exceed expectations, I want to give credit to our man Adam Schefter, because the team that has the most votes tied with the Cardinals and Raiders is the Patriots. And remember, we asked him like months ago, in the beginning of training camp, if not before, hey, last year you gave us the Commanders, and he was spot on. Who's the team this year? And he said Patriots without a second thought.
Now you going to blink? Is that who did I give you? Cardinals.
You did give Cardinals.
Cardinals.
You like Johnny? You like Johnny?
Cardinals is Cardinals is the team that I thought. I think the Cardinals are going to surprise people. I think they're going to be a pest.
Yeah, in that division.
I think they're going to be a pest.
Yeah, I agree.
Do I think they're going to be great? No.
Raiders. I still got to see.
I'll tell you this.
See a lot more. I'm not going to buy stock.
I know you
don't. And Ashton Genty.
Yeah, but you're talking about a team going from nothing to being.
Yeah, that's true.
And I said to you, if they go 9-8, they can be a wild card team.
I'd be shocked if they won 9 games. I would be. But
even though Gino always does that, as a starter, and he's got his coach back, and he's. I get you. But it's Patriots, Cardinals, Raiders.
Yes, with the most.
3-way tie with the most. Buccaneers, Seahawks next.
Yep, and the Bucks I agree with. Eagles did not come in on this list.
Well, they're not going to exceed because
correct
expectations are too high.
Now, 3 teams that will fall short of expectations is the other poll you sent.
How about Connor? If you didn't look at the show notes.
Oh, I did.
Okay, the falling short of expectations to me blew me away. The number 1 team blew me away because it was so overwhelming.
So, again, the Patriots, Cardinals, Raiders for exceeds expectations tied with 7.
The team that will fall short of expectations, the number 1 team was not even close. Number 1 is a runaway favorite.
They had 16 votes. The second team had 9.
And the second team with 9 is the team that I've been blowing the horn for all offseason, the Commodes.
Right. I'm with you.
And the executives seem to be right there. Number 1 blew me away with the Lions. 16 votes for the Lions, 9 for the Commodes. I got to tell you, the Lions being with 16, maybe these executives know something that I'm hoping
now,
they
look,
know.
Expectations are high.
Yes,
right?
because people are saying
division.
They should have won the Super Bowl
get to
last
the NFC
year.
Championship game, right? So they could still win the division and lose in the first round of the playoffs, and that would be falling short of expectations.
They're expected to win that division.
They are.
Anything less
even
than
with
winning
the Micah Parsons trade.
And it's
Green
a tough
Bay.
division.
But even though the betting public has gone Packers to win the division.
Sure. The Commanders being second, I love that.
Well, come on.
I love that we're with the football people, John.
I don't understand
all the worry works out there.
Has Chris? I was away for 10 days. Has Chris come in with the bet yet?
I've not seen
on the
it.
Commanders. Remember
I've not seen it.
I mean, I'm waiting for the Commanders bet because everybody's was Billy Big Balls about the Commanders.
By the way, the Eagles did get 2 votes on there, but again, fall short of expectations.
Expectations for the Eagles.
What is the expectation?
I would say the expectations league-wide for the Eagles would be Final 4.
Sure, and that's why the Chiefs are also on this list, and they have 2 votes as well.
Right.
The other AFC team would be what? Ravens or
Denver.
Bills? No, but I'm a Final 4 team. Ravens have 1, Bills have 1, but yeah, Denver.
I think people are talking too much about Denver.
Denver's defense is legit. It's who is Bo Nix?
People are penciling in Bo Nix as being legit for real. I got to tell you, I'm not buying that yet. Not yet.
Yeah, it's we just saw it with C.J. Stroud last year, right?
Yeah,
let's see how year 2 goes for him.
Correct.
That defense is legit.
That defense is legit.
But J.K. Dobbins is their lead back, or you're hoping that you get something out of R.J. Harvey? I'm
a believer. I think that he's going to be good. Now, hopefully not against the Eagles in Week 5, but I think he's a good quarterback.
They're expecting the former rapper and Evan Ingram to help him out.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm expecting Bo to be really good this year.
Wow.
I really am.
I'm a little.
It's not Evan Ingram. Who's the Giants rapper?
Darren Waller.
Darren Waller. No, wrong tight end. Darren Waller was the former rapper. Kelsey Plum broke his heart. I understand. All right, coming up next.
You got to move on.
We'll check our text line. We have the key 3, and we'll continue to preview what will be a wild week in Philadelphia sports. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like Groundhog Day because you keep hearing the same old tired takes? Good.
Philly fans, you are the best sports fans in the world. You're not stupid, so why should you have to hear outlandish takes that make you shake your head?
You shouldn't. That's why Unfiltered is the show for you. Each afternoon from 2 to 6, we only bring you honest opinions and analysis.
We may not agree all the time, but what you hear is what we genuinely believe. It's not some rage bait to try to spark conversation. So make the switch to Unfiltered with me, Bill Colarulo, my man Ricky Bo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday at 2 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
.75 The Fanatic. We got the key three coming in a few minutes, and we got our text messages that we'll check. But just real quick, just to kind of let you guys know what the program will look like the rest of the week. It's going to be a busy week.
The program?
Yeah, I don't know where that started. Not only will it be busy here, obviously check out the Fanatic all week long because there is a lot going on. I know there's the special broadcast for Unfiltered.
Thursday afternoon,
South
right?
Philly. Yeah, Chickies and Pete South Philly, 2 to 6, which is going to be really cool. So, obviously, today was fun. We had to have some moving parts because of things happening.
Quite a bit.
But tomorrow we'll have Adam Schefter because it's a Wednesday with Shefty. Our man Jeff McClain, who could not do today, will be joining the show tomorrow. We are going to be doing a lot of our futures bets tomorrow. Not just Eagles related, but league-wide. The reason why, normally we would do it Friday, but Friday's reaction day. I texted John and Connor when I left the building on Wednesday of last week.
When you were getting ready to go on your
I said, John, sorry to bother you on vacation, but you know what? Technically, I'm on vacation right now, too.
I ordered one of those,
the blueberry drinks.
It looked delicious. It was delicious.
This week actually is awesome because we had the shortened week. We were all off Monday. Today's the welcome back. Helps that the Phillies beat the Brewers yesterday. Tomorrow we get to do like the National NFL Outlook. Thursday's game day. Friday's reaction day.
It's a beautiful thing.
And then I like sometimes a Sunday free Eagles game when I can just sit back and watch the rest of the league.
I'm liking it after yesterday sitting out on the screened-in porch and watching baseball out there.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to
just watching Red Zone,
college football and NFL football on the back patio. Oh, I love it.
So my wife.
What?
So my wife. I was down the shore Thursday, Friday with Coop. Now I had my parents help me out, but she had to work. She didn't get down until Saturday morning. And then one of her girlfriends is in town from Colorado, so she had to go see her yet. Go see her. I want you to go see her.
Go see her.
She's got 2 showers on Saturday. And she's like, Andrew, I'm sorry. I've been blah. I'm like,
you should shower every day. Maybe twice.
I take 2 every day. During summer.
I go, you know what? I think I'll be all right. Because now I can just say, Coop, you want to sit down and watch college football with me all day Saturday? And make wings and make all the junk food.
So he likes that?
Oh, yeah. He's all for it. And then Sunday is, hey, hon, I got to watch this for work.
Oh, you're going to pull that?
Oh, come on, man. Week 1, I have every right to say I got to pull for work.
You do. It's countdown time.
Yeah.
It's countdown time.
I can't wait. I'm so excited for this
It's
weekend.
So exciting.
So
it's going to be great.
I kind of like that the Eagles are playing Thursday. Not only because it shows that they won the Super Bowl last year and they get to open up the season, but the fact that I now have a Sunday free of watching the rest of the league and just the only thing I'm stressing over is my fantasy league and some other bets. I love that. I'm not stressing over 1-0 when it comes to the Philadelphia.
Wait till Thursday night. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait. What do we got on the text line? Oh, no, by the way, Phillies 2 more games against the Brewers. That's another thing to.
When do they play Thursday? Is that a day game?
Yeah, they're 4 something.
No, the schedule worked out perfectly.
Okay, so it is a day game.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
no conflict.
4:10 Thursday, then 7:10.
That's good.
4:10 Thursday,
good.
and then 7:10 Friday,
tomorrow.
Which is the 7:40 tomorrow.
Oh, never mind.
7:10 Friday, which is when the Chiefs. Who are the Chiefs playing? Broncos.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, but I'll watch both.
I will, but I'm not worried about that one. I'm just worried
it's
about
Phillies Marlins. That's dual
all I'm worried about
screen
is
worthy.
Eagles there. So.
All right, what do we got on the text line?
All right, so we have a check-in here from Walt in Harleysville, who says he has no patience with the Eagles. Over the past 2 seasons, the Eagles tried to move on from Slay and Sweat. Williams was an afterthought for most. This is typical team growth. Let's not forget these were players we tried to get rid of before, so we should expect the people behind them to be ready to step up.
Wait, so he's not patient?
Yeah, he's saying, the Eagles have been trying to move on from those guys before, and then, Milton Williams was an afterthought, and he stepped up big. So you should expect the depth of the Eagles to play out.
I get what you're saying. I can't go into week 1 and say, I expect Jalen Hunt to have 2.5 sacks.
Right.
I can't do that because
no, I can't.
I didn't see Jalen Hunt really play until the playoffs.
And we didn't see Jalen Hunt jump off our screens for the most part, hardly at all.
Until the Super Bowl.
Right.
He picked a good time to do it.
No.
A great time.
No.
But I'm not going to sit here and say, all right, because Milton Williams was really good last year, Moro Jomo is going to be really good this year.
Can't do that.
I expect him to benefit from playing next to Jalen Carter. Same with Jordan Davis. Same with Ty Robinson. I expect all those guys to benefit from playing next to Jalen Carter. But just because, what? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was a proven vet.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Isaiah Rodgers was considered a high player before he had the gambling issue.
And by the way, too, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was arguably their worst defensive player until Thanksgiving last year.
Right.
We don't know. There was just crazy stuff.
I can't say because it worked out last year, I expect it to work out the same this year. And oh, by the way, last year, it took 5 weeks for it to work out. The defense was not great the first 4 games of the season.
No.
All right, give us another text.
All right, so we have people that mentioned, so we talked about the Landon Dickerson thing and how tough he was earlier on in the show.
Mm-hmm.
It was August 13th he had the procedure done, as this texter goes in.
August 13th.
Another texter, Dave from Baltimore, said he had his meniscus done in June, and he still doesn't even have full range of motion yet. Dude is a monster.
Yeah, now it was considered right away not a major meniscus injury.
That is the truth.
I don't know what Dave's status is.
They made that very clear.
Yeah, and that's why they said right away he could be back week 1. I'm just still going to say I know way too much about menisci in the city that the fact that he's going to be back potentially Thursday, and if not Thursday, week 2 against the Chiefs, that dude's one tough son of a gun.
Ain't that just really a vibe check? Because if this happened to a Sixers player,
we never see him again.
It's 6 months.
We would never
if it happened to an Eagle, we'll see you week 1.
Sixers right around the corner.
Yes, sir.
I got Franklin here. Me and Frank.
Look, Frank would be fun.
South pals. Time now for the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade Salciunas Key 3. Today's best.
I've told you all along the Phillies are going to win this division. I had no blink about it. And by the way, I told you that the day I returned, from vacation, the division race would be over. By the way, it's over.
Love that.
It's over. There's no concern about the Mets. It's over. It's football week.
Might be concerned in October.
No, wait a minute. You're right on that.
Yeah.
No, you're not incorrect on that one. The division race is over.
I don't want to have this rotating outfield. I don't. Unless they.
But why do you want to go to the guy who hasn't earned it?
Fine, then they tell you that it's a Kepler-Castellanos platoon. The other two guys need to play.
Okay.
I'm tired of Bader being in the lineup one day, out the next day.
Bader, Marsh.
And Marsh has proven himself at this point.
Here's the Sharpie, folks. There's the Sharpie. I'm handing it to Andrew. And Rob, this isn't hard.
No.
Stop being the middle school teacher who doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Kepler, don't worry about him. Castellanos, don't worry about him. Marsh, put him in.
I was hoping that we wouldn't see Micah Parsons week 1.
Yeah, I'm thrilled that he's not there.
Yeah, and that makes week 1 easier.
Here's one thing, though, and I saw some of social media's reaction to it last week. I really was hoping he'd get shipped to the AFC.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there.
Because I'd much rather have Micah Parsons on the Dallas Cowboys than Micah Parsons on the Green Bay Packers. The Eagles' job to get back to a Super Bowl got tougher.
Yep, absolutely.
Because of this move.
Absolutely.
Because Parsons on the Packers makes the Packers a lot more dangerous, and I already thought the Packers were dangerous.
Sure.
There's been a lot of debate about that. I think the Packers are a dangerous club. Now they added Parsons, even though he's having his epidurals.
Yes.
Which I didn't know he was pregnant. That's going to be a problem.
From Fox, our man Mark Schlereth joins us. Mark, good morning. How you doing today?
There is a difference between hunting a Super Bowl and being hunted, and they will be hunted each and every single week. Now, I still believe they're the best team in football, but, the mentality changes, and you got to kind of set your jaw. And, I had the good fortune of going back-to-back in Denver, and, that second year was easy for the most part from the standpoint of we were a lot better. We were a better football team that second year, and we started off the season 13-0. But it is mentally exhausting because everybody is asking you constantly, can you do it? Can you go back? Can you repeat? Can you do this? And that wears you out.
Here's who the Phillies potentially could have to navigate in October. The Phillies could have to navigate the Dodgers, who as of now, they lead the season series again. The Phillies could have to navigate the Cubs, who they won the season series against 4-2. The Phillies could have to play the Padres, who they were 3-3 against. Did not win, did not lose, won the series here, lost the series there 2-1. Obviously, I told you they're 2-7 against the Mets, pending next week's series. They won the series against the Tigers, best team in the American League, 2-1. Won the series against the Blue Jays, 3-0. Won the series against the Mariners, 3-0. Won the series against the Yankees, 2-1. Won the series against the Red Sox, 2-1. Lost to the Astros, 0-3. So in other words, against potential playoff opponents that are already decided, we already know how the season series goes. the Phillies are guaranteed that 8 out of the 10 of those, they were the better team. But because the Mets series and the Mets have been so good against the Phillies, season's over. They suck. Write them off. It is mind-numbingly dumb to me.
I can't believe you say mind-numbingly dumb.
Mind-numbingly is hard to say, by the way, especially after some blueberry drinks.
I can't believe you said
I do.
Embarrassing.
It is. It's embarrassing.
Dude, getting swept by the Mets is everybody has every right to their reaction.
Getting swept by the Mets it's the proclamations that are made after it. That's what's mind-numbingly dumb.
That was a painful series.
You're disrespecting the 8 other things that I just gave you as data to go, okay, well, I'm not going to pay attention to all those other teams that they've been better than they could play in October. That they boat race some of them. And it's like, well, it's just because it's the Mets. It's because it's the Mets.
That is a big part of it.
And it is. And the thing is, we all hate the Mets.
You think this is bad?
They knocked your ass out last week.
Yeah. Wait if Thursday night doesn't go well.
No, Thursday night's
Thursday's going to go well.
Thursday's going well.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you.
I'm not. It's crazy. I don't even have like a slight.
I don't even have a
hang of.
Either do I.
Concern.
Nope. And I do not even have
no Bears, bleep Dallas.
I don't even have a blip on the radar about Thursday.
Right?
You know what, though? That's not a good thing, though.
Yeah, I got you. That's why we need Lee Corso. By the way, shout out Lee Corso. I thought you were going to have him in the headlines. Shout out Lee Corso, the only guy on that panel with the Florida State upset.
Well,
we discussed yesterday.
The only reason he picked it is because it's his alma mater.
And?
I mean, seriously, though. So he picked it.
Wrong?
No, he didn't pick it because of that. He picked it.
I heard him say game of the year in the first quarter.
Hell yeah, he did.
You know his college roommate, too, right? Burt Reynolds.
Oh, how about that?
How about that?
That's pretty cool.
Hey, support life-saving cancer research. Join us and our generous partner, Pierce Phelps, Bryant Heating Air Conditioning Contractors, and make a donation today to the AACR, the American Association for Cancer Research. You can do it at 975thefanatic.com/AACR. I'm living proof that cancer research saves lives.
Hell yeah. And we're back. We're back for good. No more vacations.
Football
season
for
starts
football,
on
baby.
Thursday. We'll get you covered leading up to it. Ray Dunn, midday show comes your way next. We'll be back at it